It's Monday, March 9th. Today on Your Morning Atlantic, pain at the pumps. Diesel prices surge for a third time in a week. We'll have the prices just ahead in your top news headlines.
And hope blooms. Funds from the annual Girls' Night Out fundraiser will go to support the organization, and we will pay them a visit.
Plus, a little-known part of Halifax history. We'll chat with the author of a new book about the rail cut, which has been in use for more than 100 years. All that and so much more just ahead on the Monday edition of Your Morning Atlantic.
Good morning. Come on in. It is Monday, March 9th. So glad you can join us. Month of March flying by, and the temperatures rising, melting is happening. What a wonderful time. I know in our region, the Halifax area, it was just a drizzle fest, foggy drizzle fest all weekend. But you know what? It seemed to be melting things. So I guess we'll take it. How was your weekend, ladies?
It was lovely. And it was lovely to see all those snowbanks just start to sink, get smaller and smaller. So nice. And then, of course, we had the time change yesterday.
Oh, that I'm feeling. That I am
was a
feeling.
rough one, yeah.
So welcome back, birthday girl. We missed you
you.
last week, but we're happy that you got to spend some time with your family.
Yeah, it was so nice. We had so many birthdays to celebrate in my home, so it was really nice to spend some time with the kids and relax. Obviously, I didn't come back refreshed. It was a wild, fun weekend.
It means you had a good time, right?
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, like you said, really nice temperatures. If you thought the weekend was nice, wait till later today. Yes, record-breaking daytime highs, lots of sunshine as well for parts of the region.
Oh, hurrah, hooroo.
Yeah, it's going to be quite a nice day. Here's a live look at Moncton. The roads are a bit wet starting off your day. As of right now, it is 1 degree in your area. So temperatures for you a little bit later on will warm up as well. Not too bad starting off the work week. -1 right now in Fredericton, 2 degrees in Charlottetown and in Halifax, 4 this morning in Sydney and into St. John's, Newfoundland. Factor in that wind chill, not really a factor for the Maritime region at least, but still seeing a colder start to the day for Labrador with the risk of frostbite as well. We do have a statement in effect for parts of New Brunswick, a special weather statement. This is for Wednesday afternoon until Thursday, expecting a messy mix to move back in. Other than that, a wind warning also in effect for parts of Newfoundland. This is for Tuesday morning until the afternoon. But for today, for the Maritime region, lots of sunshine. We do have a chance of some isolated drizzle. Other than that, though, Newfoundland, Labrador will be dealing with some light flurry activity and some light rain as well. And then in terms of the wind, a bit of a breezy day today out of the southwest this morning. As of right now, it is 26 kilometers per hour in Sydney, 24 in North Cape, 20 into Edmundston and in Moncton, with currently wind gusts. No wind gusts at this time, but it will get up to 40 kilometers per hour into the afternoon. We'll take a look at your long-range forecast just ahead. First, a look at your local news with Amanda.
Thank you so much, Latavia. Diesel prices around the region shot up again over the weekend. The interrupter clause was used Saturday, spiking the minimum price of diesel for the third time in a week. In all, diesel prices have increased about 30 cents since last Wednesday. Here is a closer look at the numbers. Diesel in the Halifax area increased by nearly 15 cents Saturday. The minimum price now $2.16.4. The price of gas did not change in Nova Scotia. However, in Prince Edward Island, gas increased by 9.1 cents a litre Saturday. The minimum price now $1.70.2. Diesel increased by 19.1 cents. The minimum price for diesel on the island now $2.29.9 a litre. And in New Brunswick over the weekend, gas increased by 6.2 cents. The maximum price now $1.56.2, and diesel increased by 19.4 cents. The maximum price $2.19.9 a litre. One man is dead and another was seriously injured in 2 separate snowmobile crashes in Prince Edward Island. Around 1 a.m. Saturday, a 53-year-old Charlottetown man crashed into a tree on the Confederation Trail in Brackley. He died at the scene. Then at noon, a 37-year-old man was taken to hospital with life-threatening injuries after a snowmobile crash in Hazelbrook. Police believe speed and not wearing a helmet are factors in that crash. Police also reminding people to be cautious while using snowmobiles and to wear helmets. Staying on the island, some residents of an 18-unit apartment building in western PEI had to be treated in hospital for smoke inhalation after a fire broke out in the Summerside building on Saturday night. The Summerside Fire Department was called to Crosby's Waterview Apartments on Water Street after a fire alarm was triggered around 11:30 p.m. All 18 apartments were evacuated and the fire was extinguished by 1 a.m. The Red Cross was called in to help residents displaced by the fire, and the province's fire marshal is investigating how it started. Cybersecurity experts say hacks like what Halifax Water is facing are becoming all too common, and defense against them isn't keeping up. Halifax Water reported late Friday that its online Customer Connect portal was breached, but that there is no indication that financial information is at risk. Experts are urging public and private institutions to be more proactive on audits and stay up to date on current threats. A lawyer practicing privacy and cybersecurity says he's hopeful federal law requiring minimum standards for cybersecurity and critical infrastructure will be passed by the Carney government.
These kinds of attacks are happening all the time. Critical infrastructure like water, like power, is always a ripe target because they know that they have customer information and they essentially know they can hold them hostage if they get enough of it.
Here's a challenge that we're facing in our industry. There's between 200 and 500 new vulnerabilities discovered every single week. And most of the time, these organizations are only doing an audit once a year.
Halifax Water is urging people who get phone calls claiming to be the utility to hang up and call back using the phone number on its website. More information is expected to be provided later today. In New Brunswick, a chemical spill near Fredericton is under investigation. It happened in the Vanier Highway and Willsey Road area. Officials say they were notified of the spill Thursday. Throughout the weekend, roads were closed while crews worked to clean up the spill. Preliminary testing detected traces of sodium carbonate, sodium hydroxide, and chromium. A car wash has been set up for vehicles that may have driven through the spill on Thursday or Friday. That car wash will be open today from 9 a.m. until 6 p.m. Officials say the health risk from the spill remains very low. Anyone with surgeries at the Victoria General Hospital today should ensure they're still going ahead. That follows a power outage disrupting some services on Saturday. Nova Scotia Health says some inpatients were moved to the Halifax Infirmary as a result. It said surgeries were limited while crews worked to restore backup generator power, and that anyone with surgery scheduled for today should wait for instructions from their care team before attending. Finally, people donned their best purple over the weekend for a special gala. About 300 guests got together in Halifax Saturday night for the 2026 Purple Day Gala in support of those living with epilepsy. There was food, performances, and auctions. CTV's Emma Convey was also the MC as well. There was also a private art show featuring works created by members of the epilepsy community. Lots of music, too, even a performance from Quake Matthews as well. And if you missed it, we also had an interview with organizers from the Purple Day Gala. You can find that video up on our website or on our YouTube channel. What a good event.
Looks like a great turnout.
Great turnout, great event. March Epilepsy Month yesterday, International Women's Day.
Yes.
So, yeah, that's important. Important to recognize all these occasions. A lot going on, exactly.
Yeah.
All right, it's now 6:09, and this was ripped right from the headlines of Amanda's Lifeline, but I thought this was good to shine a spotlight on. New data suggests that headaches are quite literally a global pain, and women are bearing the brunt of the burden. A new study from The Lancet finds that more adults than ever are living with chronic headaches, and while they are a serious health issue for an estimated 2.9 billion people, more women than men are experiencing head-pounding pain. In fact, migraines affect twice as many women as men, and age matters. Adults over 50 years of age have the highest rates of both tension headaches and migraines. A striking 20% of all headaches were caused by medication overuse, and that's because taking pain relievers too often can actually make headaches worse.
Oh, wow.
Really interesting stuff. I didn't realize that women were more impacted than men.
No, yeah.
Absolutely. And boy, you know how debilitating those headaches can be, too.
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely.
Or migraines, I should say, yeah. All right, still ahead, we're going to have your first look at your international news headlines on this Monday morning. And Latavia has details on the warm forecast. Maybe some double-digit highs today.
Oh, yeah. Music to my ears.
Wow, record breaker. Let's take a live look at Yarmouth this morning. A dark start today. Hopefully everyone changed their clocks over the weekend as well. The full forecast and your national news headlines are up next.
Happy Monday, Atlantic, Canada. The time now is 6:13. We're taking a live look at the Armdale roundabout. A bit busy early this morning. 2 degrees starting off your day, so not a bad start to the work week. Quite warm for much of Atlantic Canada. As of right now, it is 2 degrees as well in Fredericton, 2 in Charlottetown, 4 degrees in Sydney, minus 13 degrees in Labrador City, and 4 degrees starting off your day in St. John's, Newfoundland. A special weather statement currently in effect for much of New Brunswick. This is for Wednesday afternoon until Thursday. We are expecting a bit of a messy mix to move in. Snow, ice pellets at around 15 to 25 centimeters and freezing rain at around 5 to 15 millimeters. A wind warning also in effect for the Great Northern Peninsula. This is for Tuesday morning until the afternoon. Could see wind gusts of up to 100 kilometers per hour. Over to our forecast timeline. Lots of sunshine as the sun begins to rise a little bit later on this morning for all 3 maritime provinces. Newfoundland, Labrador going to be dealing with a bit of mixed precipitation, looking at either flurry activity and or a bit of drizzle. And same day goes for Newfoundland, but that will continue to clear out. Into the late afternoon, early evening, we will start to see a chance of some drizzle activity moving into the northern region of New Brunswick. Other than that, though, just increasing cloudiness into the afternoon and into the evening. Temperatures will be cooling down a bit, but still going to remain above seasonal for our lows tonight. If you're wondering about snowfall totals, we aren't going to see any for the Maritime region and looking at only around 1 to 5 centimeters for St. Anthony, 5 to 10 for Labrador City. In terms of rainfall, going to remain quite light for northern New Brunswick, parts of Nova Scotia, seeing around 2 to 5 millimeters for Happy Valley Goose Bay. So for our forecast today for New Brunswick, daytime highs will range from 7 to 14 degrees, being the warmest into Fredericton. Wind gusts getting up to 40 kilometers per hour. We do have that chance of some isolated showers for the northern region. For Prince Edward Island, highs between 7 to 9 degrees today, mainly sunny skies throughout your day as well, and it's a bit breezy for our wind. In terms of Cape Breton, eastern Nova Scotia, pretty much the same thing, lots of sunshine throughout your day, wind gusts of 40 and highs between 4 to 12 degrees. And then for the rest of Nova Scotia, highs will range from 8 to 14 degrees, being the warmest into Kentville, lots of sunshine with wind gusts of 40. Labrador City, looking at a high of 2 degrees today. We do have a bit of flurry activity. We'll transition over to snow into the evening. 7 degrees for St. John's, Newfoundland. Periods of drizzle that will clear out, leaving a mix of sun and cloud into the afternoon. So for our forecast timeline for Tuesday, another sunny, very warm day ahead. Another record-breaking day for our daytime highs for the Maritime region. Newfoundland, Labrador, a bit of a cloudier day ahead, and we do have a bit of flurry activity still tracking across parts of Newfoundland. Then into Wednesday's forecast, starting off a bit sunny, then increasing cloudiness. We do have that low pressure system moving in, bringing snow, a risk of freezing rain, and some rain starting off in New Brunswick first, and then spreading to parts of all 3 maritime provinces. That's a look at your weather forecast. We'll throw things over to Amanda.
Thank you, Latavia. With the war across the Middle East now into its second week, civilians caught in the crossfire are becoming desperate to find safety. CTV's Adrian Gobriel has more.
Travel this winding road flanked by the snow-capped Zagros mountain range. You will eventually find yourself at a passage where thousands have flocked to in recent days. Bags in hand, many arrive fleeing war and persecution. Others, heading in the opposite direction, take this long walkway, with war awaiting their arrival.
This is the Kapokoi Crossing. It's one of the oldest borders in the Middle East. It dates back to the 17th century. Now it's located right here on the historic Silk Road. And today, it's the busiest of 3 land borders that links Iran to Turkey.
Are people afraid to talk there?
Very much.
Why are people afraid to talk?
Their lives.
We met this father from British Columbia, crossing into Turkey with his wife and children. They were visiting loved ones in central Iran when the war began. To protect his extended family still in Iran, we've agreed to keep his identity private. 9 days caught in this conflict has left him shaken.
Loud explosions. I think anybody who has experienced that will understand. You are afraid for your life, right? And for the lives of your dear ones, right?
And this is in part what he was fleeing, an apocalyptic scene in Tehran where an inferno burns at the Shahran oil depot following targeted airstrikes today by U.S. and Israeli forces on oil storage facilities in Iran. The black smoke so thick, reports of oil raining down were reported across the Iranian capital. As air raid sirens sound, this massive crater marks the spot of an Iranian missile attack in central Tel Aviv. Multiple Gulf states also coming under fire just 1 day after Iran's president apologized for previous attacks. The president of the United Arab Emirates warning Iran today, saying the UAE has thick skin and bitter flesh. We are no easy prey. Stateside, U.S. President Donald Trump watched on as a dignified transfer of 6 fallen soldiers killed in the early hours of this conflict took place at Dover Air Force Base. Back at the Kapakoi border crossing, it's people caught in the crosshairs of conflict who carry the weight of this war with each step and each goodbye.
It must be difficult for you to be leaving your family behind.
Right, it is.
Your fears for them?
Yeah, I hope that bomb will not hit them. That's all I hope, yes.
With the war growing more volatile by the day, it's a hope shared by many in this region. Ajmer Gobrel, CTV News, Van Province, Turkey.
And the spike in global oil prices is already hitting consumers in wallets right across the region. But the pain will soon be felt far beyond the pumps, especially in provinces like PEI that depend on truck transport. CTV's Maria Saru explains.
Across the Confederation Bridge, trucks move goods on and off Prince Edward Island year-round. But when fuel gets more expensive, going the distance does too.
It's going to drive grocery prices up for a number of reasons.
At Atlantic Beef Products, a meat packing plant on the island, trucking costs are already part of the pricing equation. So are oil-based packaging and propane for heating.
Price changes are not something that we're unfamiliar with. Sometimes they're up and sometimes they're down. These won't help keep prices down.
The company's CEO adds more costly freight could drive up what it charges wholesale buyers. The minimum price of diesel on PEI is at nearly 230 cents per liter, now the highest in the Maritimes, an increase of more than 19 cents this week, a cost that can quickly add up. The PEI Potato Board says the jump in fuel costs is bad timing for farmers preparing to plant their fields, after last season's drought devastated the crop. Some of the world's biggest exporters of key fertilizer ingredients are in the Gulf region, and any disruption there could hit growers here.
Those operations, which are nitrogen intensive crops, those prices are going to go way up.
On the water, the PEI Fishermen's Association says fuel is one of the top 3 costs for members, and any increase has a negative impact on their bottom lines and product costs. All of that adding up to plenty of stress and worry for islanders and tourists over their grocery bills.
Well, it's already expensive enough as it is.
Definitely paying more every paycheck, and it's eaten into whatever money I have outside of that.
If the conflict continues for weeks, international affairs experts say Canadians could see a serious return to inflation right across the board. Maria Sru, CTV News, Borden Carlton, Prince Edward Island.
Thank you, Maria. Finally, Canada has its first gold medal of the Milano Cortina Paralympics. Natalie Wilkie of Salmon RBC topped the podium in the women's standing biathlon. It's her second medal of the Games, coming a day after capturing silver in the women's sprint. Canada also claimed silver in men's para biathlon and bronze in men's para snowboard. A quick break. When we return, we'll have your must-see moment from our colleagues at TSN. The Monday edition of Your Morning Atlantic will be right back. Please stay with us.
Move Mornings with Aaron and Peter. Weekday mornings on Move 100. The most fun in the morning. And home of the $1,000 minute. Only on Move 100 Halifax.
Terry Fox, what an important part of our Canadian history.
Absolutely.
The Terry Fox van will be in our region in April, and we'll have that story, which is exciting.
Yeah, very exciting.
And that'll be here before you know it. Right now it's 6:25, but it's time to check in with the friends at TSN Sports Center for today's must-see moment.
Hello, everyone. Laura Dykin here inside the SportsCenter newsroom with your must-see moment from Sunday. For that, let's head to Buffalo for some rough stuff. For a lot of rough stuff. Opening period between the Lightning and Sabres, and a bit of a back and forth between the opposing players here, and that brings a crowd. Brandon Hagel right in the middle of it. The Team Canada Olympian dropping the gloves with Peyton Krebs, a spirited tilt. And this game was bananas. A total of 102 penalty minutes dished out between the two teams. In the second period, they kept it going. Hagel wants to fight Rasmus Dahlin, unloading on the Swede. Numerous punches thrown, leading to another wild scene. My best advice, head to tsn.ca to check out the full highlights of this one. They did play a hockey game. It was an 8-7 final. It's just a taste of all the chaos. Some old school hockey in Buffalo on Sunday. Well, tonight on TSN, Shea Gilgeous-Alexander and the Thunder will host the Denver Nuggets. Tip-off for that one coming at 6:30 Central Time. That does it for us here inside the SportsCenter newsroom. Have a great rest of the day.
This TSN must-see moment brought to you by J.R. Rahe's Furniture and Appliances.
Taking a look at our 3-day forecast, starting off in New Brunswick with a high of 11 degrees today. Mainly sunny skies for much of the province. We do have a chance of some scattered showers into the northern region. On Tuesday, 13 degrees, isolated showers. Still seeing a bit of sunshine, though, and then evening flurries. Cooling down to 0 on Wednesday, looking at freezing rain transitioning over to snow into the evening. For Nova Scotia, 12 degrees today, lots of sunshine. We do have a chance of showers into the evening for parts of the province. On Tuesday, 14 degrees with sunny skies. And then on Wednesday, 4 degrees, looking at some scattered showers into the evening, snow and or freezing rain. Prince Edward Island, 8 degrees today with mainly sunny skies, a high of 9 on Tuesday. A mix of sun and cloud, but also seeing isolated showers into the afternoon. On Wednesday, -1, scattered flurries, looking into the evening, snow and or rain.
Coming up in the Move Morning Chat, today we're talking about old tech you just can't get rid of. That conversation in about 15 minutes on Your Morning Atlantic.
Hey, good morning. It is 6:31, not 5:31 if you haven't changed the clocks yet. Of course, the clocks sprung. They moved forward yesterday. Do you too quickly change? Like, you would get up, you're like, that's the first thing you have to do if there's a time change, to change the alarms around the house, or you just kind of do it when you can?
Well, thankfully, the phone does it for us.
Yes.
It's in my car that I immediately change, because when I get in, it kind of confuses me. Yes. So I just make sure to change it right away.
Yeah. To answer your question specifically for me, I was stunned by how early it felt, and coffee was my first priority. Then we worried about clock changing.
Yes.
And then later on, the batteries and the smoke detector and all that good stuff. But yeah. Okay, I saw your 3-day just before we went to break. How delightful that we're into some really warm temperatures. Yes.
It's going to feel so nice outside. Get out and enjoy those temperatures and that sunshine.
Yes.
Because for the next couple of days after we hit midweek to the end of the week, it's not going to be the same. It's going to cool back down. We're going to still see that messy weather move back in.
Okay. It is March. She's one of those months.
Exactly.
It was a busy time, busy party in St. John's for the Briar over the weekend. That was the place to be.
As of right now, early in the morning, it's 3 degrees starting off your day, so it's going to be warmer over there as well today. But we do have a bit of some weather activity in your area, looking at a chance of showers and or drizzle early in the morning. 2 degrees right now in Fredericton, as well as into Charlottetown and Halifax. 4 degrees starting off your day in Sydney. -13 in Labrador City. So the wind chill not really factoring in for the Maritime region, but it is for parts of Newfoundland and Labrador, with parts of Labrador seeing a risk of some frostbite this morning. In terms of the special weather statement now in effect for much of New Brunswick, this is for Wednesday afternoon until Thursday, as we are going to see a messy mix move back in, and a wind warning also in effect for Tuesday morning until the afternoon. So here's a look at our satellite and radar. Still seeing a bit of flurry activity, shower activity for parts of Newfoundland and Labrador. Other than that, the Maritime region seeing sunshine across all 3 Maritime provinces, with a chance of some showers expected for northern New Brunswick into the afternoon. Then in terms of the wind, it will be a bit breezy today out of the southwest this morning. 35 kilometers per hour in North Cape, 20 into Edmonton and Sydney, with a few wind gusts getting up to 28 kilometers per hour right now in Bathurst and Grand Etang. We'll have another look at your long-range forecast just ahead, but first a look at your local news with Amanda.
Thanks, Latavia. We begin in New Brunswick, where a chemical spill near Fredericton is under investigation. It happened in the Vanier Highway and Wilsley Road area. Officials say they were notified of the spill Thursday. Throughout the weekend, roads were closed while crews worked to clean it up. Preliminary testing detected traces of sodium carbonate, sodium hydroxide, and chromium. A car wash has been set up for vehicles that may have driven through the spill on Thursday or Friday. That car wash will be open today from 9 a.m. till 6 p.m. Officials say the health risk from the spill remains very low. Some residents of an 18-unit apartment building in Western PEI had to be treated in hospital for smoke inhalation after a fire broke out in the Summerside building on Saturday night. The Summerside Fire Department was called to Crosby's Waterview Apartments on Water Street after a fire alarm was triggered around 11:30 p.m. All 18 apartments were evacuated and the fire was extinguished by 1 a.m. The Red Cross was called in to help residents displaced by the fire, and the province's fire marshal is investigating how it started. Staying on the island, one man is dead and another was seriously injured in 2 separate snowmobile crashes. Around 1 a.m. Saturday, a 53-year-old Charlottetown man crashed into a tree on the Confederation Trail in Brackley. He died at the scene. Then at noon, a 37-year-old man was taken to hospital with life-threatening injuries after a snowmobile crash in Hazelbrook. Police believe speed and not wearing a helmet are factors in that crash. And police are also reminding people to be cautious while using snowmobiles and to wear helmets. Diesel prices around the region shot up again over the weekend. The interrupter clause was used Saturday, spiking the minimum price of diesel for the 3rd time in a week. In all, diesel prices have increased roughly 30 cents since last Wednesday. Here is a closer look at the numbers. Diesel in the Halifax area increased by nearly 15 cents. The minimum price now $2.16.4. The price of gas did not change in Nova Scotia. However, in Prince Edward Island, gas increased by 9.1 cents a litre. The minimum price now $1.70.2. And diesel increased by 19.1 cents. The minimum price now $2.29.9. And in New Brunswick, gas increased by 6.2 cents. The maximum price now $1.56.2. And diesel increased by 19.4 cents. The maximum price $2.19.9 in New Brunswick. A national trade show has touched down in Halifax, the event's second ever East Coast stop. It's a chance for Canadian businesses to get their products to market. And as CTV's Callum Smith reports, for some, it helps put a spotlight on buying local.
This expo is closed to the general public, rather a chance for businesses to connect with other businesses.
We have approximately 200 vendors. People have traveled from Newfoundland, Ontario, Alberta, basically across the country to come here to Halifax and connect directly with their important customers.
And more than 3,000 buyers signed up to attend the 3-day event, like Kimberly Irvin, a boutique owner in Sunnyside Mall.
I get a lot of requests for Canadian products by tourists, especially during the summer.
While not limiting her business exclusively to Canadian products, she says now is the time to focus on that.
We always love to support our local talent and wholesalers from our own country. But right now it seems more important than ever, given the environment.
From souvenirs, jewelry, candles, greeting cards, and more for new businesses like this clothing print company in Sydney that's only been around for 1 year. The exposure makes a great opportunity.
It's better for us to be part of this event where we don't have to reach out to all the customers. We are seeing new people, and it's not just from like Sydney or Nova Scotia. It's people coming from all other maritime provinces.
It's only one of 5 of the Canadian Gift Association's trade shows across the country.
Buyers coming to our spring trade shows are often looking to purchase in quantities for upcoming gifting seasons, Mother's Day, Father's Day, Easter, certainly the winter holidays as well.
A prime chance for this Toronto-based company showcasing provincial tartans from across the country, as well as some for NHL teams.
These shows are very important for businesses like ourselves because we can speak to our buyers, they can touch our products. We do a lot of online as well, but you can't get the same feel because we're very tactile.
The event runs until Tuesday. Callum Smith, CTV News, Halifax.
Thank you, Callum. Just even looking at that video, I'm thinking, oh, I like that Sydney shirt with the big fiddle. I like those scarves. Yeah,
Great.
shop with my eyes already.
Super. Those kind of events are wonderful on so many levels. Okay, we love our region so much, but you know what's also fun? Traveling.
Oh, yeah.
And I find when you travel, you appreciate home even more.
You do.
That's why you need to enter a contest. You can experience the magic of Hong Kong by entering for a chance to win a trip for 2, courtesy of the Hong Kong Tourism Board. So here's what you're going to win. It is a round-trip flight on Cathay Pacific for the 2 of yous, 4 luxurious nights at the Park Lane, Hong Kong, $1,000 spending money. You can wrestle over who gets to spend what, and a 3-day pass granting access to more than 20 amazing attractions. Enter online, ctvatlantic.ca, or scan the QR code on your screen. Good luck to you. My niece and nephews were in town for a basketball tournament. They said they've entered to win. So you're up against them now.
Oh, and I've had people telling me too they've entered, and I'm like, good luck.
Good luck. It's a great prize.
It's an amazing prize. Okay, still ahead, we'll have a musical with a decidedly Halifax twist. But coming up next, it's the Move Morning Chat. Today, we're talking old tech. Isn't it hard to believe DVDs and Blu-ray are old? Anyways, tell us that conversation next.
Good morning, Atlantic Canada, and happy Monday. The time now is 6:43. We're taking a live look at McAdam. Quite dark starting off your day, but you will be seeing sunshine as the sun begins to rise a little bit later on. Currently 0 in your area. Temperatures already starting off a bit warmer early this week. So 2 degrees right now in Fredericton as well as into Charlottetown and Halifax. 4 degrees in Sydney, looking at 3 degrees starting off your day in St. John's, Newfoundland. A special weather statement currently issued across much of New Brunswick for Wednesday afternoon until Thursday, as we expect another low pressure system making its way over, bringing a bit of a messy mix our way. In terms of the wind warning in effect for the Great Northern Peninsula, this is for Tuesday morning until the afternoon, could see wind gusts getting up to 100 kilometers per hour. Over to our forecast timeline. So sunshine expected for all 3 maritime provinces today. We do have a bit of flurry activity for parts of Newfoundland and Labrador, a bit of mixed precipitation for much of Newfoundland today. That will start to clear out as we head towards this afternoon. Late into the afternoon, early into the evening, we do have a chance of some scattered showers returning for the northern region of New Brunswick. Other than that, still going to see a chance of showers and or flurries for parts of Labrador. That will take us into early Tuesday morning, another sunny day ahead for the Maritime region, and another really warm day ahead as well. If you're wondering about snowfall totals, we're not seeing any for the Maritime region. Looking at around 1 to 5 centimeters for St. Anthony, 5 to 10 for Labrador City. And then for our rainfall outlook, going to remain quite light for parts of Nova Scotia and New Brunswick. We are going to see around 2 to 5 millimeters into Happy Valley Goose Bay. Over to our forecast today for New Brunswick. Lots of sunshine across the province. We do have a chance of scattered showers to the northern region. And other than that, daytime highs will range from 7 to 14 degrees and wind gusts of 40 kilometers per hour. Prince Edward Island, highs between 7 to 9 degrees. Lots of sunshine across the island today. Wind gusts also will be getting up to 40 kilometers per hour. Cape Breton, eastern Nova Scotia, pretty much the same. Lots of sunshine today with highs between 4 to 12 degrees. For the rest of Nova Scotia, daytime highs between 8 to 14 degrees, being the warmest into Kentville. Mainly sunny skies. skies, wind gusts of 40. For Labrador City today, a high of 2 degrees. Flurries transition over to snow into the evening. 7 degrees for St. John's, Newfoundland. Periods of drizzle start off your day. That will clear out, leaving a mix of sun and cloud. So Tuesday's forecast, temperatures really warm yet again for our daytime highs. Another record-breaking day. Sunny skies for all 3 maritime provinces. A bit of flurry activity remains for parts of Labrador. Wednesday's forecast, starting off sunny, then increasing cloudiness. We do have that low pressure system making its way over, bringing periods of snow, freezing rain, and or rain for all 3 maritime provinces. That's a look at your weather forecast. We'll throw things over to the Move Morning Chat.
Well, it's time for our Move Morning Chat with our friends Aaron and Peter, and a little bit of an interesting topic today, old technology that you're holding on to. Do you have any of that lying around? Aaron, why are we talking about this?
Well, I can't believe I'm saying this, but if believe it or not, the iPod is cool again. Gen Z is making the iPod cool again. Apple has not made an iPod since 2019. I remember getting my first lime green iPod mini in 2004. I wish I still held on to that. But I guess Gen Z, they're thrifting for the iPods. The digital unplugging is like a huge phenomenon right now, which is why they love it. They've been, using digital cameras and old flip phones. So it's kind of a trend to have this old technology. Now, I don't have any old technology. I wish I did because it's cool again. But Peter obviously is hanging on to something.
I am hanging on to something. And it was my parents' stereo that I asked my mom a few years ago, can I have that? Can I have that, please? Because I know somebody who really wants that. So when you think of old school stereos, it's not that box of furniture that would be in a living room. It was a space age stereo made by RCA that if you look at it, looks like a kind of a giant ice cream sundae with a silver pedestal bottom and a smoked glass top. And it came with speakers that were the size of bowling balls and were actually round. And I mean, I'm sorry, it is so very cool.
It's cool.
And I still have it. And it's going to be 1970s stuff here. And I absolutely love it. But my son loves it more. So officially it's his.
Wow. That's awesome.
I'm not going to be able to keep it forever. So someday it's going to go into his place.
There you go.
Someday, not anytime soon.
Not anytime soon. You'll hold on to it for a little longer, Peter.
That's right. Yeah.
I feel bad to say that this is an old piece of technology, but if I'm thinking about what's technically an old piece of tech that I still have because I think I'm going to use it, but I never do, it's our DVD player. Everything, it seems, is streamable now, and you can watch on your phone, or you can watch it on the big screen if you want as well. But in our basement, we still have the DVD player, and we still have a shelf full of DVDs, and it's like a special time period from like the late 90s, early 2000s, just captured in DVD form, including series of TV shows. And we're still hanging on to it. I can't remember the last time we actually put in a DVD. In fact, we will be frustrated by the inconvenience of wanting to watch a film and trying to figure out which streaming service it's on when we could have gone downstairs, grabbed the DVD, put it in, and watched it just in a different room. Why am I so inconvenienced? But I guess it is the DVD player. Still holding on to that.
Amazing. My parents will raise you one. They have a VHS player still.
Nice.
I know the kids don't know what that is, but they still have that. For me, the piece of technology is when my grandfather passed, we were going through their house and going through all of the old things, and I wanted his typewriter. So because he used to own a paper in Sarnia, Ontario, and so that was one of his typewriters that he would literally help build the paper on. And so for me, that is my piece of technology, is a typewriter.
That is so cool.
Yeah.
So we want to know, what old piece of technology are you still hanging on to? Maybe you have something similar that we mentioned. Maybe it's only 10 years old, but you say, I will not upgrade my phone. I'm going to stick with this flip phone. We want to know. Text us at 10400, and we will share your answers a little later.
Welcome back. The time now is 6:53, and back in 2021, we brought you the story of a Cape Breton man who wanted to make a musical about the Donair. Well, the pandemic shut the idea down back then.
Yes, but as CTV's Ryan McDonald shows us, Donair the musical might hit the stage after all 5 years later.
You see, we found the perfect recipe. It's all in the family. We stole it from our uncle in Halifax. Here's the hymn.
Nearly 5 years ago, there were plans to make a musical surrounding Nova Scotia's signature food. A lot has happened since then.
One of them would have been that global pandemic, which really screwed up our plans for staging the Donair the musical.
The off-the-wall, or should I say off-the-spit, idea never did get to see the light of day before a live audience. But now, the meaty musical is being revived after the man who dreamed it up, Paul McDougall, had a chance conversation with Savoy Theatre General Manager Carol Ann Gillis.
And before I knew it, Carol Ann and I had decided that she would take it on as the director.
Well, have a look around. It's the story of my life. Born and raised into a family, making pizza pie.
The plot tells the story of a mom-and-pop restaurant in 1970s Cape Breton trying to survive by capitalizing on the popularity of the hot new food from the provincial capital.
The Donair had just started, 1973, in Halifax, and how a family in Cape Breton decides, hey, maybe we can turn our pizza shop into a Donair shop.
McDougall has written about 10 short plays over the past 20 years or so. The idea for this one first struck him back in 2006. This time he says it's actually happening, and that ticket sales prove that there is, well, an appetite for it.
I think they're 140, 150 sold.
McDougall says that it's set for 2 nights in August at the Savoy, with a casting call in early March for actors and musicians. And not unlike a 2 a.m. Donair, he says that it's better late than never.
100% Cape Breton-driven product of a great Nova Scotia food. It's just all wrapped up in tin foil, waiting for you to just dig your teeth into.
At the big celebration, honoring the occasion of selling 10,000 Donairs.
A Donair dream that in this case may have simply required a little reheating. Ryan McDonald, CTV News, Sydney.
Thank you, Ryan. Happening now, a chemical spill near Fredericton is under investigation. A car wash has been set up for vehicles that may have driven through the spill on Thursday or Friday. Officials say the health risk, though, from the spill remains low. Plus, some residents of an 18-unit apartment building in Western PEI had to be treated in hospital for smoke inhalation after a fire broke out in the Summerside building Saturday night. Details just ahead. Plus, a group of Cape Breton women are coming together to pay tribute to Rita McNeil's first album. We'll have those details coming up next in your local news headlines. But first, let's look at the warm 3-day forecast with Latavia.
Thanks, Amanda. Starting off in New Brunswick, a high of 11 degrees, mainly sunny skies today. A chance of scattered showers expected to the northern region of the province. On Tuesday, much of the same, a bit of sunshine, also seeing a chance of isolated showers returning, warming up to 13 degrees with evening flurries. And then on Wednesday, 0 as your daytime high, looking at some freezing rain and evening snow. Nova Scotia, a high of 12 degrees today, mainly sunny skies with evening showers for parts of the province. Sunshine continues on Tuesday, warming up to 14 degrees. 4 degrees on Wednesday, scattered showers, snow and or freezing rain into the evening. For Prince Edward Island, 8 degrees with sunshine today. Tuesday, 9 with a mix of sun and cloud, isolated showers into the afternoon. Wednesday, -1 with scattered flurries.
It's Monday, March 9th. Today on Your Morning Atlantic, a chemical spill near Fredericton is under investigation. Your top news headlines just ahead.
And a deserving recipient. This year's Girls' Night Out fundraiser will support Hope Blooms, and we'll visit the organization to talk about the difference they're making in the community. That's
Good morning, Atlantic Canada. Thank you so much for joining us. A new work week and temperatures will be quite nice a little bit later on.
What
a wonderful news. Yes, very happy to see that in the forecast.
Yeah, you're not the only one. We've definitely reached that time of year where it's like, which jacket and which pair of boots am I going to wear today?
It's true. It's true. I'm excited to see some of the snowbanks have extended far into the street, meaning cars have to park way the heck out yonder, making it difficult to get around a narrow street. So when those shrink back down, life will be easier.
Some of those snow hills have become mountains.
Yeah,
They're
it's
so
true.
Tall. It's quite wild to see how much snow we had fall.
Yeah.
But yes, like you said, we've been seeing the melting happening. 2 really warm, record-breaking days headed our way for today and tomorrow.
Wow.
Sunshine. So we're going to see that melt a little bit more.
Put some spring in your step.
Yes,
right?
Spring in the step. So what are we looking at right now?
Right now, it's not too bad starting off this morning. You can actually feel that warmer air move back in.
Nice.
In Antigonish early this morning, currently 3 degrees starting off your day, so not too bad. And you will be seeing sunshine as well. We do have a bit of active weather in the forecast for parts of the region, but quite light in its activity. As of right now, 2 degrees in Fredericton, Charlottetown, and Halifax, 4 starting off your day in Sydney, 3 degrees in St. John's, Newfoundland. Factoring in that wind chill for parts of Newfoundland and Labrador, we are going to see a risk of frostbite as well for parts of Labrador early this morning. A special weather statement currently in effect across much of New Brunswick. We do have a messy mixture headed our way Wednesday afternoon until Thursday, as well as a wind warning in effect for Tuesday morning until the afternoon. Could see wind gusts getting up to 100 kilometers per hour. Here's a look at the satellite and radar. Sunshine for all 3 maritime provinces today. We do have a chance of some scattered showers for the northern region of New Brunswick. Other than that, Newfoundland, Labrador are also going to see a bit of a mixture today in terms of flurry activity and or showers. Then for the Maritimes, in terms of our wind, it will be a bit breezy today, getting up to 40 kilometers per hour this afternoon. As of right now, starting off the day, 35 kilometers per hour in North Cape. We are 20 into Sydney, and wind gusts getting up to 35 in Edmonton, 28 in Bathurst and Grand Etang. We'll take a look at your long-range forecast just ahead. First, a look at your local news with Amanda.
Thank you so much, Latavia. A chemical spill near Fredericton is under investigation. It happened in the Vanier Highway and Wilsley Road area. Officials say they were notified of the spill last week on Thursday. Throughout the weekend, roads were closed while crews worked to clean up the spill. Preliminary testing detected traces of sodium carbonate, sodium hydroxide, and chromium. A car wash has been set up for vehicles that may have driven through the spill on Thursday or Friday. That will be open today from 9 a.m. until 6 p.m. Officials say the health risk from the spill remains very low. Some residents of an 18-unit apartment building in western PEI had to be treated in hospital for smoke inhalation after a fire broke out in the Summerside building Saturday night. The Summerside Fire Department was called to Crosby's Waterview Apartments on Water Street after a fire alarm was triggered around 11:30 p.m. All 18 apartment units were evacuated and the fire was extinguished by 1 a.m. The Red Cross was called in to help residents displaced by the fire, and the province's fire marshal is investigating. Cybersecurity experts say hacks like what happened to Halifax Water are becoming all too common, and defense against them isn't keeping up. Halifax Water reported late Friday that its online Customer Connect portal was breached, but that there is no indication that financial information is at risk. Experts are urging public and private institutions to be more proactive on audits and stay up to date on current threats. A lawyer practicing privacy and cybersecurity says he's hopeful federal law requiring minimum standards for cybersecurity and critical infrastructure will be passed by the Carney government.
These kinds of attacks are happening all the time. Critical infrastructure like water, like power, is always a ripe target because they know that they have customer information and they essentially know they can hold them hostage if they get enough of it.
Here's a challenge that we're facing in our industry. There's between 200 and 500 new vulnerabilities discovered every single week. And most of the time, these organizations are only doing an audit once a year.
Halifax Water is urging people who get phone calls claiming to be the utility to hang up and call back using the phone number on its website. More information is expected to be provided today by Halifax Water. Diesel prices around the region shot up again over the weekend. The interrupter clause was used Saturday, spiking the minimum price of diesel for the 3rd time in a week. In all, diesel prices have increased about over 30 cents since last Wednesday. Finally, a group of Cape Breton women are coming together to pay tribute to Rita McNeil's first album. And as CTV's Ron McDonald shows us, they'll also be shining a light on the singer's feminist roots and what they mean half a century later.
Not everyone knows it, but the woman many fondly remember for singing Working Man was actually a feminist.
We're doing a tribute show to Rita McNeil's 1975 album called Born a Woman.
It was McNeil's debut album, and unlike the crowd-pleasing hits she later came to be known for, this was a record full of songs about women's rights. Now, more than 50 years later, 13 women are coming together to perform some of those tunes.
This side of Rita, this activist side, this feminist side, it's not really talked about. And it's always kind of been a big part of who she was. It was behind the Christmas specials and behind the fame.
I definitely wasn't aware of that, but it's not surprising to me.
Rachel Colford says growing up in the 90s, she and the rest of the country grew familiar with the gentler and at times shy side of McNeil, so she's glad to help give a voice to her earlier music and the message behind it.
Whoever you are, whatever background you have, you can use your voice, and it's such an empowering thing.
She would love this. She really was not permitted to do this and to sing these songs once she had management.
Joella Folds first met McNeil back in the late 1970s and helped bring her home for the first ever International Women's Day concert in Cape Breton. Now she too is performing in the tribute show set for April 10th inside the theater at the Cape Breton Miners Museum.
People more broadly will get to understand the full depth of the person that was Rita McNeil.
When I was young, to make my life an interesting one.
And appropriately enough, tickets for the show first went on sale on Sunday, which was International Women's Day. Ryan McDonald, CTV News, Sydney.
Rita McNeil, what an icon.
Oh, legendary.
Yeah.
All right, 7:08. Here's an idea we could get behind. All right, it's Canine Companion to the Courtroom. Now, this is Icy. Look at her cute little face.
Oh, my.
She's a rescue pit bull in Georgia who's been given a second chance at life as a calming courtroom presence. She's a success story from a program called Canine Cellmates, which pairs people involved in the justice system with rescue dogs. So instead of serving traditional sentences, participants train dogs, teach them commands, and socialize them to learn patience, responsibility, and compassion. Officials say Icy's presence keeps nerves and calms people down. It also brings out the best in people.
I love that.
Oh,
it's a neat idea.
Yes. What a cutie.
And a way to, a chance to give dogs a second chance, people a second chance. It's just a nice idea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really creative.
Exactly.
So sweet. Okay, coming up shortly, we'll have another look at your national and international news headlines, and Latavia will have a full look at the Monday forecast. You'll want to listen because we've got some record-breaking double-digit highs today and tomorrow. Look at the snow melt in beautiful Bedeck, Nova Scotia. What a gorgeous start to the day.
Every time we show Bedeck, it's beautiful. Every single time.
It's true. Gotta love Cape Breton. Okay, the forecast is coming up right after this.
Happy Monday, Atlantic Canada. The time now is 7:12. We're taking a live look at Halifax, starting off your day at 2 degrees. Temperatures are expected to rise and going to be quite a warm and sunny day ahead for much of the Maritime region. So starting off this work week, temperatures already beginning to warm up. As of right now, it is 1 degree in Fredericton, 2 degrees in Charlottetown, 3 currently in Sydney and into St. John's, Newfoundland. A special weather statement currently issued across much of New Brunswick for Wednesday afternoon until Thursday, as we expect a messy mixture of precipitation to move in. So snow and or ice pellets at around 15 to 25 centimeters and freezing rain at around 5 to 15 millimeters. We also have a wind warning in effect for the Great Northern Peninsula. This is for Tuesday morning until the afternoon. Could see wind gusts getting up to 100 kilometers per hour. So here's a look at our forecast timeline. As I mentioned, mainly sunny skies for all 3 maritime provinces today. And then we have a bit of active weather in the forecast for parts of Newfoundland and Labrador, seeing a bit of a mixture for Newfoundland, as in flurries and or showers starting off the day. And then for parts of Labrador, looking at some flurry activity starting off the day as well. Into the afternoon, a chance of scattered showers expected for the northern region of New Brunswick. Other than that, still seeing sunshine remain the forecast for the Maritimes, Newfoundland and Labrador. We start to see some clearing out of Newfoundland, but for Labrador, looking at a chance of flurries and or showers, will transition over to periods of snow into the evening. So if you're wondering about snowfall totals, it's going to remain light for parts of Newfoundland and Labrador, only seeing 5 to 10 centimeters of accumulation for Labrador City, 1 to 5 for St. Anthony. And then for our rainfall outlook, quite light as well for northern New Brunswick, parts of Nova Scotia, and only seeing around 2 to 5 millimeters for Happy Valley Goose Bay. Over to our forecast today for New Brunswick. Daytime highs really warming up, ranging from 7 to 14 degrees. Lots of sunshine throughout your day. We do have a chance of some scattered showers to the northern region of the province and wind gusts of 40 kilometers per hour. Sunny skies as well across Prince Edward Island today with highs between 7 to 9 degrees. We are going to see wind gusts as well, getting up to 40. Pretty much the same for Cape Breton and eastern Nova Scotia. Highs will range from 4 to 12 degrees today and lots of sunshine throughout your day. And that sunshine continues to the forecast for the rest of Nova Scotia with daytime highs between 8 to 14 degrees, being the warmest into Kentville and Bridgewater. Wind gusts remain at 40. For Labrador City today, a high of 1. We do have a chance of flurries throughout your day. Transition over to snow into the evening. 5 degrees for St. John's, Newfoundland. Periods of drizzle start off your day, but will clear, leaving sunshine into the afternoon. So Tuesday's forecast, a really warm day ahead yet again. We do have sunshine for all 3 maritime provinces as well. A bit of flurry activity for parts of Labrador. And then into Wednesday's forecast, starting off the day with sunshine. Temperatures will be cooling down, increasing cloudiness with another low pressure system making its way over, bringing a wintry mix across parts of New Brunswick. And then for Prince Edward Island, Nova Scotia, looking at a risk of freezing rain and a bit of shower activity as well. And then moving into Newfoundland, looking at periods of snow. That's a look at your weather forecast. We'll throw things over to Amanda.
Thanks, Latavia. With the war across the Middle East now into its second week, civilians caught in the crossfire are becoming desperate to find safety. CTV's Adrian Gobriel has more.
Travel this winding road flanked by the snow-capped Zagros mountain range. You will eventually find yourself at a passage where thousands have flocked to in recent days. Bags in hand, many arrive fleeing war and persecution. Others, heading in the opposite direction, take this long walkway, with war awaiting their arrival.
This is the Kapakoi Crossing. It's one of the oldest borders in the Middle East. It dates back to the 17th century. Now it's located right here on the historic Silk Road. And today, it's the busiest of 3 land borders that links Iran to Turkey.
Are people afraid to talk, though?
Very much.
Why are people afraid to talk?
Their lives.
We met this father from British Columbia, crossing into Turkey with his wife and children. They were visiting loved ones in central Iran when the war began. To protect his extended family still in Iran, we've agreed to keep his identity private. 9 days caught in this conflict has left him shaken.
Loud explosions. I think anybody who has experienced that will understand. You are afraid for your life, right? And for the lives of your dear ones, right?
And this is in part what he was fleeing, an apocalyptic scene in Tehran where an inferno burns at the Shahran oil depot, following targeted airstrikes today by U.S. and Israeli forces on oil storage facilities in Iran. The black smoke so thick, reports of oil raining down were reported across the Iranian capital. As air raid sirens sound, this massive crater marks the spot of an Iranian missile attack in central Tel Aviv. Multiple Gulf states also coming under fire just 1 day after Iran's president apologized for previous attacks. The president of the United Arab Emirates warning Iran today, saying the UAE has thick skin and bitter flesh. We are no easy prey. Stateside, U.S. President Donald Trump watched on as a dignified transfer of 6 fallen soldiers killed in the early hours of this conflict took place at Dover Air Force Base. Back at the Kapakoi border crossing, it's people caught in the crosshairs of conflict who carry the weight of this war with each step and each goodbye.
It must be difficult for you to be leaving your family behind.
Right, it is.
Your fears for them?
Yeah, I hope that bomb will not hit them. That's all I hope. Yes.
With the war growing more volatile by the day, it's a hope shared by many in this region. Adrian Gobriel, CTV News, Vaughan Province, Turkey.
And Canada has won its first gold medal of the Milano Cortina Paralympics. Natalie Wilkie of Salmon Arm, BC, topped the podium in the women's standing biathlon. It's her second medal of the Games, coming a day after capturing silver in the women's sprint. Canada also claimed silver in men's para-biathlon and bronze in men's para-snowboard. A quick break here on Your Morning Atlantic. When we return, we'll have details on the annual Progress Club Girls Night Out fundraiser. That's coming up next. Please stay with us.
Welcome back. The time now is 7:22. The annual Progress Club Girls Night Out fundraiser is happening next month, and this year funds raised will go towards supporting Hope Blooms.
Our multimedia journalist Mike Lamb visited the folks at Hope Blooms to see what they're up to as we head towards spring.
So Girls Night Out is one of our signature events, and it's being held April 10th at the Pacifico. And it's a night of entertainment with a theme of garden party this year. It's an event that we host annually to fundraise for our charity of choice, this year being Hope Blooms. And there's entertainment, there are drink samples, there are vendors, there's music. It's just a really fun night to go out with your girls. The Canadian Progress Club is a national service organization. We have clubs across the country that do both fundraisers and volunteer efforts to support our communities. We are a group of passionate women that love our communities. Many of us work, some of us are retired, but we fundraise a few times a year to raise money for important charities that support women and children. That is our focus for our club. Our club started in 1988, and since that time we've raised over $2 million that's gone into the community for charities that support women and children. So we're really out there trying to help the community with folks like Hope Blooms.
So Hope Blooms began in 2008 with a little plot of abandoned land that was turned into a garden by our founder and executive director, Jessie Jollymore. And the youth from there started the dressing business along with me. I'm the chef, so I help create all the recipes with the youth so that we can create all of these great businesses that everybody loves to support. And from there, they just started at the market, they went on Dragon's Den, and they just kind of flourished. And then new generations came along, and we've started more social enterprises. We now have the From the Ground Up coffee business, which supports the youth social exchanges. And then we have the Tea Girls, which support all of our food programs. And we have a farmer's market. We gave out 28,000 pounds of food in the farmers market this year, and we served over 25,000 meals to the community. And they also give food to a few of the schools for the breakfast program. So they get to be the ones participating in their own futures. So that allows them to just lift themselves up and also create generational change for their community and their families. The money raised for Girls Night Out will be a huge impact on the Hope Blooms social enterprises, as well as going into the scholarship funds for the youth who are graduating this year and continuing in their post-secondary endeavors. We're so honored and grateful that they chose us to give the money to from this event.
Girls Night Out tickets are on sale now. You can get them through our Facebook promotion, or you can go to our website to buy your ticket. That ticket includes lots of fun, the signature drink for all of our guests. There's going to be lots of entertainment. There'll be music, and it'll just be a really positive environment for you to celebrate with your friends and to do the good work of helping us support the community. So not only are you having a fun night out, but you're also helping Hope Blooms and other charities that support women and children in having your fun night out. So join us April 10th at Pacifico for Girls Night Out.
Taking another look at our 3-day forecast, a high of 11 degrees for New Brunswick today, mainly sunny skies, scattered showers expected to the northern region. On Tuesday, 13 degrees, looking at isolated showers, evening flurries, and then on Wednesday, a high of 0, freezing rain with evening snow. Nova Scotia is looking at a high of 12 degrees today, lots of sunshine across the province, a chance of showers into the evening for parts of the province as well. And then on Tuesday, 14 degrees with sunny skies. On Wednesday, cooling down to 4 degrees, looking at some scattered showers into the evening, snow and or freezing rain. For Prince Edward Island, 8 degrees today with mainly sunny skies, a mix of sun and cloud on Tuesday, isolated showers. On Wednesday, cooling down to -1, scattered flurries, evening snow and or rain.
Just ahead in this half hour, staying healthy while you're traveling. We'll chat with a pharmacist for tips on feeling your best when you're away from home. That's coming up on the Monday edition of Your Morning Atlantic.
Welcome back. 7:31, halfway through the show already on this Monday. The week is already off to a zipping start. And you know what's also fueling me today, aside from 2 cups of coffee by this point? Probably a third is coming soon. It is going to be a 3-coffee day after the time change. Excited about the double-digit, possibly record-breaking temperatures ahead.
Oh, yeah. This is way above seasonal for our daytime highs, and sunshine headed our way, too. It's going to feel quite nice outside
Very
today.
nice.
How much longer are we going to see the Zamboni in Fredericton here?
Good question, Amanda.
Right? Looks like it took the morning off. As of right now, it is 1 degree in Fredericton. You'll be seeing warm temperatures headed your way as well, with lots of sunshine as the sun begins to rise. As of right now, it is 2 degrees starting off your day in Charlottetown as well as into Halifax, 3 degrees early this morning in Sydney, -12 in Labrador City, and 3 degrees in St. John's, Newfoundland. Now, we're not seeing the wind chill factor in much this morning in the Maritime region, but still taking place in parts of Newfoundland and Labrador, with parts of Labrador seeing a risk of frost by early in the morning. A special weather statement has been issued for much of New Brunswick for Wednesday afternoon until Thursday, as we are expecting another low-pressure system to head our way, bringing a bit of a messy mixture across the region. Over to the wind warning in effect for the Great Northern Peninsula. This will be for Tuesday morning until the afternoon. Here's a look at our satellite and radar. As I mentioned, sunny skies for all 3 maritime provinces today. For Newfoundland and Labrador, dealing with a bit of active weather, a chance of flurries and or showers. And then for the wind for the Maritime region out of the southwest this morning, as of right now, 33 kilometers per hour in North Cape, 28 in Sydney, 20 into Grand Etang, with wind gusts getting up to 35 kilometers per hour in Edmonton, 41 in Sydney, with 30 into Charlottetown and Grand Etang. We'll take another look at your forecast just ahead, but first, a look at your local news with Amanda.
Thank you so much, Latavia. Diesel prices around the region shot up again over the weekend. The interrupter clause was used Saturday, spiking the minimum price of diesel for the 3rd time in a week. In all, diesel prices have increased roughly 30 cents since last Wednesday. Here's a closer look at those numbers. Diesel in the Halifax area increased by nearly 15 cents a liter Saturday. The minimum price now $2.16.4. Price of gas did not change in Nova Scotia. However, in Prince Edward Island, gas increased by 9.1 cents a liter. The minimum price now $1.70.2. Diesel on the weekend also increased by 19.1 cents. The minimum price $2.29.9 a liter. And in New Brunswick, gas increased by 6.2 cents. The maximum price now $1.56.2. And diesel increased by 19.4 cents. The maximum price now $2.19.9 a liter. One man is dead and another was seriously injured in 2 separate snowmobile crashes in Prince Edward Island. Around 1 a.m. Saturday, a 53-year-old Charlottetown man crashed into a tree on the Confederation Trail in Brackley. He died at the scene. Then at noon, a 37-year-old man was taken to hospital with life-threatening injuries after a snowmobile crash in Hazelbrook. Police believe speed and not wearing a helmet are factors in that crash. Police also reminding people to be cautious while using snowmobiles and to wear helmets. Staying on the island, some residents of an 18-unit apartment building in Western PEI had to be treated in hospital for smoke inhalation after a fire broke out in the Summerside building Saturday night. The Summerside Fire Department was called to Crosby's Waterview Apartments on Water Street after a fire alarm was triggered around 11:30 p.m. All 18 units were evacuated and the fire was extinguished by 1 a.m. The Red Cross was called in to help residents displaced by the fire, and the fire marshal is now investigating. In New Brunswick, a chemical spill near Fredericton is under investigation. It happened in the Vanier Highway and Wilsley Road area. Officials say they were notified of the spill Thursday. Throughout the weekend, roads were closed while crews worked to clean up the spill. Preliminary testing detected traces of sodium carbonate, sodium hydroxide, and chromium. A car wash has been set up for vehicles that may have driven through the spill on Thursday or Friday. That car wash will be open from 9 a.m. until 6 p.m. Officials say the health risk from this spill remains very low. Music PEI held its annual awards over the weekend. Ahead of the big event, we got to learn more about the life of musicians and the unique challenges they face in smaller provinces. CTV's Maria Saru has more.
Drums kickstart soundcheck before the fiddle comes in. PEI's Richard Wood has toured the world with his fiery brand of Celtic music, making this his full-time job. But the musician says not everyone from the island is as lucky.
There's an awful lot of musicians that would have to move away, you know, and you hear the stories all the time, moving to Toronto or they move to New York or Halifax.
Singer-songwriter Logan Richard, also from PEI, says some seasons are busier than others, but the highs are louder than the lows.
Lean into the fact that it is a small town. There's people that do it full-time that you can reach out to and that you can ask questions to. I'm also a producer and a guitar player for hire, so I'm able to do a few different things that kind of helps keep the ship floating.
Music PEI offers local artists financial help through investment programs and grants. For example, the nonprofit's Golden Ticket program supports 4 winners with everything from producing singles to sales targets.
Nowadays, there's so many other ways to make money in music and to do it for a living, so things like TV and film placements and working in recorded music more than touring.
Back on stage, Wood says it's best for emerging artists not to rely entirely on streaming, instead to book gigs and give it their all.
The old saying is true, you really don't know who's in the audience.
Whether 2 people or 200,000 are in the crowd, the musicians say it's about showing up despite the challenges. Maria Saru, CTV News, Summerside, Prince Edward Island.
Oh, so good. Thank you so much, Maria. And that also brings us to the Move Morning Chat. If you have maybe vinyl that you keep, maybe you still listen to music on tape. Who knows? That's the question we're asking this morning about what piece of old technology are you still hanging on to, even if you don't want to admit it's old, which can be sad.
Sometimes the oldies are goodies.
They're
the best.
True. Yeah.
Speaking of which, actually, this brings us to our next story. A Canadian referee is hoping to work his way into the record books. Michael Martirana, known as Big Mike, is 80 years old, and he's hoping to set the Guinness World Record for oldest active basketball official. He became a referee about 20 years ago in Regina after being a player and coach for many years. Now he mentors younger refs, passing on a love for the game. Mike says he has no plans to retire his whistle anytime soon. I love stories like this.
Yes.
Keep it going, Mike.
Keep moving. Keep your mind and your body active. What's got to be so cool is a lot of those players, their parents must have been also, he must have been a referee for their games as well.
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
Totally. And I just love, really, any excuse to show these kind of old photos. I really love those.
Right?
Those sort of pieces are a lot of fun.
Yeah. Well, speaking of, coming up next, we're going to be talking about staying healthy when away from home. We'll get tips from a pharmacist on staying your best health when you're on vacation. Nothing ruins a quick vacation quite like feeling ill. That's coming up.
Welcome back. The time now is 7:42. Lots of sunshine starting off your day over in Digby. Currently 4 degrees in your area, and temperatures will continue to rise into the afternoon. Really warm daytime highs headed our way. As of right now, for Fredericton, it is 1 degree heading outdoors, 2 degrees in Charlottetown and in Halifax, 3 currently in Sydney, minus 12 degrees starting off your day in Labrador City with 3 degrees into St. John's, Newfoundland. We do have a special weather statement in effect across much of New Brunswick. This is for Wednesday afternoon until Thursday. We do have a messy mixture moving in across the Maritime region, looking at snow and or ice pellets at around 15 to 25 centimeters and freezing rain expected around 5 to 15 millimeters. A wind warning also in effect for the Great Northern Peninsula for Tuesday morning until the afternoon. Wind out of the southwest could get up to 100 kilometers per hour. Over to our forecast timeline. So we are going to see sunshine for all 3 maritime provinces today. Really warm daytime highs. For Newfoundland and Labrador, we do have a bit of a mixture today. For parts of Newfoundland early in the morning, looking at flurries and or showers, and looking at some flurry activity for parts of Labrador as well. Into the afternoon, we do see that clear out of Newfoundland, leaving a bit of sunshine across parts of the province. And into the afternoon as well for northern New Brunswick, looking at a chance of some scattered showers. Then into this evening, just a bit of cloud coverage, still holding on to a bit of shower activity for parts of New Brunswick. That takes us into early Tuesday morning. Another sunny and really warm day is ahead. If you're wondering about snowfall totals, we aren't going to see any for the Maritime region. Seeing around 5 to 10 centimeters for Labrador City, 1 to 5 for St. Anthony. And then for our rainfall outlook, going to remain quite light for northern New Brunswick, parts of Nova Scotia, and only seeing around 2 to 5 millimeters for Happy Valley Goose Bay. Over to our forecast today for New Brunswick. Lots of sunshine. We do have that chance of some scattered showers to the northern region. Other than that, daytime highs really warming up, 7 to 14 degrees and wind gusts of 40 kilometers per hour. Lots of sunshine across Prince Edward Island as well today with highs between 7 to 9 degrees, wind gusts of 40 as well. For Cape Breton, eastern Nova Scotia, pretty much the same, lots of sunshine throughout your day. Temperatures warming up 4 to 12 degrees. And for the rest of Nova Scotia, also seeing lots of sunshine today with highs between 8 to 14 degrees, looking at wind gusts getting up to 40 kilometers per hour. Bit of flurry activity for Labrador City today with a high of 1 degree, transitioning over to snow into the evening. 5 degrees for St. John's, Newfoundland. Periods of drizzle will clear out, leaving a mix of sun and cloud. So Tuesday's forecast, another really warm day ahead. Still seeing that warmer air move across the region. A bit of sunshine for much of the region. We do have flurry activity for parts of Labrador. Wednesday's forecast, we start to see temperatures cool back down, still remaining above seasonal for parts of the region. But we do have another low pressure system moving in, bringing periods of snow and freezing rain and rain across the Maritime, seeing snow move in for parts of Newfoundland as well, Crystal.
Well, thank you very much, Latavia. It's 7:45, and if you're lucky enough to have a trip on the horizon, then you'll want to pay attention to our next interview. Nothing can derail a trip faster than feeling unwell, but there are steps we can take to feel healthy while traveling. Here to tell us more is our partner and pharmacist, Kiro Masse. Good morning, Kiro.
Good morning, Crystal. Great to be with you.
Well, it's great to chat about travel. Now, it's been a long, snowy winter in Canada, and as people get ready to travel south this season, what are the most common health risks?
Yeah, definitely a very long winter, and judging by your forecast, it looks like it's not quite over yet. One of the most common causes, probably the most common preventable cause of getting sick while travel, is actually diarrhea during travel, and it's one of those things that could really ruin a vacation.
It's true. Do you have any practical tips to help people prevent that?
So there are a lot of the tips that we already know. So obviously washing hands frequently, using sanitizer. You must have heard of the saying, cook it, peel it, boil it, or forget it. But a lot of people don't know that the most common cause for diarrhea during travel in the Caribbean and the South America area is enterotoxigenic E. coli, also known as ETEC. And there is a certain way or a certain sort of vaccine that we have that can really help reduce the risk with these type of infections.
Oh my goodness. So how would you be able to get vaccinated? Would you talk to a pharmacist or your doctor?
Absolutely. So by talking to a pharmacist or a doctor, you can discuss this vaccine. It's called Dukoral. So Dukoral prevents certain types of ETEC called LT-ETEC and greatly reduces the likelihood of diarrhea. Now, the great thing about this vaccine is that there's no needle necessary. We are skipping the injection altogether because you actually mix it as per instructions and drink it. So that makes the vaccine a lot more convenient. And the second thing that a lot of people really like is the fact that you don't really need a prescription for this vaccine. So just by having a quick dialogue with your pharmacist at your local pharmacy, you can get this vaccine prior to travel and greatly reduce the risk of getting sick while traveling and really make the most of your vacation.
Wow, that's great to prevent the problems before they happen, because once they do happen, there are things you can do afterward. But to prevent it altogether would be great. Couple quick questions. Age groups that would be appropriate for this vaccine?
So it's anyone, I believe, above the age of 2. And it's basically anybody that's going to be traveling to an area where there's a likelihood of getting E-tech infections. So that's essentially all of Latin America and the Caribbean, which are the sunny destinations that all my patients head out to. And that's exactly why I very easily and quickly recommend this vaccine when someone asks how I can protect myself. No prescription necessary, no injection necessary.
All right, we're almost out of time, Kira, but one last question for you is how much in advance do you need to take this vaccine?
So you need to take this vaccine 2 weeks prior to travel. So we're gonna have to take 1 dose and then a second dose. First dose should be done 2 weeks prior to traveling.
All right, well, it sounds like a talk to the pharmacist is in order if you're lucky enough to be headed on a trip south. Thanks for your time this morning, Kiro.
It's a delight as always. Take care.
Take care. And we will now turn our attention to Amanda with Health and Medical News.
We'll keep the conversation going. Thank you so much, Crystal. Flu season may be winding down, but its impact is still being felt across the country. In Alberta alone, 250 people have died. CTV's Kathy Lee has more.
Crowded hospital waiting rooms coast to coast as Canadians battle influenza. In Alberta, recent data shows 255 people have died from the virus, the deadliest flu season in recent years, a trend that has been increasing since the 2022-2023 cycle. One Alberta doctor on the front lines is not surprised by those numbers.
I was on call a lot over the last few months, and we had a constant stream of really significantly and sometimes critically ill and deathly ill people coming in with influenza.
The surge in people going to the hospital, like this one in Calgary, put added strain on the healthcare system with long waits inside the emergency room.
It was a particularly difficult respiratory virus season, and there was a mismatch in the vaccine that contributed to that difficulty.
A mismatch between the vaccine and the virus, low vaccination rates, and the strain itself, all contributing to more than 102,000 flu cases across Canada since late August.
Influenza has been a problem across the entire country, although rates right now nationally seem to be decreasing to around about 5%.
The rates may be falling, but Canadians aren't in the clear yet. The season highlighting the need for stronger vaccination efforts.
What the government needs to do is to take that seriously. Proper vaccine rollout, information, proper public health communication that goes to Albertans in terms of where to access their vaccines.
To help bring the number of cases down next season. Kathy Lee, CTV News, Calgary.
We'd like to introduce you to the Maritimers who are marking milestones today and tomorrow. It is a 69th anniversary for Carolyn and Fred Swiminer of Gold River, Nova Scotia.
Congratulations, you two, and what a fun graphic to celebrate your big day.
Absolutely. Happy anniversary.
And now to the Maritimers who are marking milestones tomorrow. It's a big birthday for Ellen McMillan of New Glasgow, Nova Scotia. Actually, today. We should have said Sunday and Monday.
Yes, exactly.
But in any case, Ellen, wow, looking fabulous. Love the tiara. Well deserved for 105 years of being alive.
Absolutely. Happy birthday, Ellen. To see your milestone again or to find out how to submit one, visit our website by scanning the QR code on your screen. And a reminder, milestones must be received 2 weeks in advance. And in case you missed it, one of television's most beloved homes, the Brady Bunch house, is now a permanent city landmark in Los Angeles.
Yes, NBC's Stephanie Gosk has more on what it means for this piece of TV history.
Here's the story of a lovely lady. The Brady Bunch, all 9 of them, including Alice, packed into this split-level ranch for 6 glorious seasons starting in 1969.
We got fantastic news! What? It happened! What happened? The fantastic news! Well, a
clears that up. The show, the family, the shag carpet, even that floating staircase becoming cultural fixtures. But it was the house that drew the crowds and still does.
If you're my age, you know what that house is by me.
Now, the Los Angeles City Council has declared the Brady Bunch house an official cultural monument in a unanimous vote Wednesday. The status means the house in the San Fernando Valley is protected from demolition. The truth is, the show was actually shot on a soundstage, and the exteriors of the house were just used to establish scenes. But that didn't stop a bidding war in 2018, with HGTV buying the ranch for $3.5 million and creating a new show, a very Brady renovation. Come on. Cast members taking today on a tour of the construction site.
I literally did not even know where this place was until 1990.
Yeah, most people on the show had never been actually inside this house.
The actors from the Brady Bunch tore down the interiors and helped recreate their TV home, including that staircase. Cast members telling Savannah and Hoda about the renovation turned reunion in 2019.
Now, you were saying, Marcia, that, Maureen, that you guys don't get to really get together like this all that often.
Yeah. Right. It's been a really long time since all of us have been back
15
together.
Years.
Wow.
Now there are new owners who opened the house to the public for the first time last fall for limited private tours.
Oh my God! I am freaking in an episode!
A piece of historic Americana that became the star of the show.
That's the way we became the Brady Bunch.
All right, taking another look at our 3-day forecast. 11 degrees is your daytime high in New Brunswick today. Lots of sunshine. We do have a chance of scattered showers to the northern region this afternoon. Then on Tuesday, 13 degrees, a bit of sunshine, but also isolated showers. Transitions over to a chance of flurries into the evening. On Wednesday, 0 as your daytime high, freezing rain with evening snow. For Nova Scotia, lots of sunshine today as well with a high of 12. Evening showers on Tuesday, sunny skies with a high of 14. Cooling down on Wednesday, 4 degrees with scattered showers and or flurries. Into the evening, snow and or freezing rain. For Prince Edward Island, a high of 8 degrees with mainly sunny skies. And 9 on Tuesday, sunshine with isolated showers. Then on Wednesday, cooling down -1, scattered flurries with evening snow and or rain.
The #1 morning show in Halifax. Turk, Megan, and Amateur Alex. And home to the biggest artists. Halifax's #1 hit music station. 101.3 Virgin Radio.
It's Monday, March 9th. Today on Your Morning Atlantic, pain at the pumps. Diesel prices surge over the weekend. For a third time in a week, your top news headlines and the prices just ahead.
And Railroaded. I chat with the author of a new book that explores a little-known part of Halifax's history. That and so much more coming up in this half hour of Your Morning Atlantic.
Good morning. Thanks for joining us. It is just turning 8 o'clock here on your Monday morning, March 9th. Do you still find yourself playing mind games with yourself after a time change? Like, okay, it's 8 o'clock, but I was really used to it being 7 o'clock at this time, and you're just constantly doing that, especially the day of a time change.
Yeah, it's a busy weekend. The time change really hit me hard this time. My mind game's just been, Crystal, stay at work. Resist the urge to run home and jump back into bed.
Right? Seriously, though, I can definitely relate to you.
So if you feel like that this morning, you're not alone.
Exactly. Kyle doesn't like that I play around with this because when we do have a time change, I'm like, it's 8 o'clock right now, but it's actually 7 o'clock.
Yes.
And he's like, no, it's 8 now. Like, it's 8.
True.
But I do that for like a couple weeks because I'm like, that's what it was.
That's what it was. That's how I'm feeling.
Yeah. And so, like, for example, getting to bed early, like, it's not always easy, especially if you've got little kids.
Oh, yeah. The time change.
It takes a bit of time to get used to a time change.
Young kids, for sure. Anyways, I want to talk about the weather because the weather is so nice today. You can already step outside your house and it's feeling quite warm. A bit foggy over there, though, in Truro, but still warm starting off your day. As of right now, it is 2 degrees, and temperatures are going to rise double-digit daytime highs and way above seasonal today. So something to keep in mind when you are heading out. Lots of sunshine expected as well. 1 degree starting off your day in Fredericton, 2 degrees in Charlottetown and in Halifax, with 3 in Sydney, as well as into St. John's, Newfoundland. Still seeing the wind chill factor in for parts of Newfoundland and Labrador, with a risk of frostbite as well for parts of Labrador early in the morning. We do have a special weather statement currently in effect for much of New Brunswick. This is for Wednesday afternoon until Thursday. We are going to see a bit of a messy mixture head back around. In terms of the wind warning in effect for the Great Northern Peninsula, this is for Tuesday morning until the afternoon. Over to our satellite and radar. We are going to see sunshine for all 3 maritime provinces today. Now, Newfoundland and Labrador starting off with a bit of a messy mix as well, looking at flurries and or showers. But for the most part, for Newfoundland, that will clear out, leaving sunshine in the afternoon. And in terms of the wind, it's going to be a bit breezy today for the Maritime region. As of right now, 33 kilometers per hour in North Cape, 28 in Sydney with 20 into Grand Etang. Wind gusts getting up to 41 in Sydney this morning and 30 into Charlottetown and Grand Etang. We'll take another look at your forecast just ahead. First, a look at your local news with Amanda.
And we begin in New Brunswick, where a chemical spill near Fredericton is still under investigation. It happened in the Vanier Highway and Wilsley Road area. Officials say they were notified of the spill on Thursday. Throughout the weekend, roads were closed while crews worked to clean up the spill. Preliminary testing detected traces of sodium carbonate, sodium hydroxide, and chromium. A car wash has been set up for vehicles that may have driven through the spill on Thursday or Friday. That car wash will be open today from 9 a.m. until 6 p.m. Health officials say the health risk from this spill remains very low. Diesel prices around the region shot up again over the weekend. The interrupter clause was used Saturday, spiking the minimum price of diesel for the 3rd time in a week. In all, diesel prices have increased roughly 30 cents since last Wednesday. Here is a closer look at the numbers. Diesel in the Halifax area increased by 15 cents Saturday. The minimum price now $2.16.4 a litre. The price of gas did not change in Nova Scotia. However, it did in Prince Edward Island. It increased by 9.1 cents a litre. The minimum price now $1.70.2. Diesel on the island also increased by 19.1 cents. The minimum price $2.29.9 a litre. And in New Brunswick, gas increased by 6.2 cents. The maximum price $1.56.2. And diesel increased by 19.4 cents. The maximum price now $2.19.9 a litre. One man is dead and another seriously injured in 2 separate snowmobile crashes in Prince Edward Island. Around 1 a.m. Saturday, a 53-year-old Charlottetown man crashed into a tree on the Confederation Trail in Brackley. He died at the scene. Then at noon, a 37-year-old man was taken to hospital with life-threatening injuries after a snowmobile crash in Hazelbrook. Police believe speed and not wearing a helmet are factors in that crash. Police also reminding people to be cautious while using snowmobiles and to wear helmets. Staying on the island, some residents of an 18-unit apartment building in western PEI had to be treated in hospital for smoke inhalation after a fire broke out in the Summerside building Saturday night. The Summerside Fire Department was called to Crosby's Waterview Apartments on Water Street after a fire alarm was triggered around 11:30 p.m. All 18 units were evacuated and the fire was extinguished by 1 a.m. The Red Cross was called in to help residents displaced by the fire, and the province's fire marshal office is investigating. Cybersecurity experts say hacks like what Halifax Water is facing are becoming all too common, and defense against them isn't keeping up. Halifax Water reported late Friday that its online Customer Connect portal was breached, but that there is no indication that financial information is at risk. Experts are urging public and private institutions to be more proactive on audits and stay up to date on current threats. A lawyer practicing privacy and cybersecurity says he's hopeful federal law requiring minimum standards for cybersecurity and critical infrastructure will be passed by the Carney government.
These kinds of attacks are happening all the time. Critical infrastructure like water, like power, is always a ripe target because they know that they have customer information, and they essentially know they can hold them hostage if they get enough of it.
Here's a challenge that we're facing in our industry. There's between 200 and 500 new vulnerabilities discovered every single week. And most of the time, these organizations are only doing an audit once a year.
Halifax Water is urging people who get phone calls claiming to be the utility to hang up and call back using the phone number on its website. More information from Halifax Water is expected to be provided later today. Finally, an exciting week of curling has come to an end in St. John's.
Matt Dunstone from the Granite in Winnipeg. Harnden, as the crowd starts to respond, make it go away, and there they go, and he is the Heartbreak Kid no more.
Matt Dunstone's curling team from Manitoba won the Canadian Men's Championship. Dunstone defeated Alberta's Kevin Cooey 6-3 in Sunday's final of the Montana's Brier in St. John's. Team Dunstone will represent Canada at the Men's World Championship later this month in Utah.
Ladies and gentlemen, he's one of the greatest to ever do it in the world, in our country, in this province, in this city.
And of course, the big moment so many people are still talking about, a big goodbye for Newfoundland's Brad Gushue, the 45-year-old from St. John's. Wanted to go out a winner with a record 7th Brier title to bookend the first he won in his hometown in 2017, but his team was ousted by reigning Olympic champ Brad Jacobs in a 7-5 playoff loss Saturday. Every draw involving Gushue's team in St. John's packed the arena to the gills. No surprise there.
A chance to see a legend in action one more time.
A legend in action, going into retirement in his hometown, but you could just see the emotion on his face and the crowd as well. So, yeah.
Still awesome. Not a storybook ending, but still awesome. Okay, let's move on to a really cool piece of real estate. It's not Batman's cave, but if you're interested, you could actually own a cave house. Check it out.
Cave house.
It was carved into sandstone with more than 500 years ago it was made, actually, and it's about to go up for auction. It's known as the Rock Cottage in Kidderminster, England, and the property dates back to 1511. So it's interesting what it feels like in there. The family says it's actually very cozy. It's not cave-like at all. They've had the home for more than 60 years, and the current owners acquired it from their grandfather in 1963. So if you want to have the cave feeling, put in your bid.
That's cool.
It's kind of neat, yeah.
It is really cool.
Actually, I should also mention the opening bid about £525,000, so that's about just under $1 million Canadian. It's a cutie.
Honestly.
Yeah, renovations have been done. It looks great.
Yeah, it'd be cozy. And
electricity, hopefully some running water. Great.
Oh, no, all of that. But also, it looks, I bet you, like, insulation-wise, like, the earth would do it for you.
Yeah.
You save a lot of money on heat and
Our
stuff.
neighbors, they live in a cave.
Yeah.
Well, that kind of takes us a little bit further back. We still have time to send us a text message to the Move Morning Chat. We want to hear from you. What's an old piece of tech that you're still hanging on to and you just can't let it go? Maybe for sentimental value, maybe because you still use it. Send us a text at 10400. We will share your text messages a little later in the show. We love to see them. Okay, still ahead this half hour, we will chat with the author of a new book about Halifax's rail cut. And also, too, just after the break, Latavia with the very warm forecast today and tomorrow. Let's take a live look at Parsboro, Nova Scotia. You can see the sun shining bright and early there this morning. So bright the camera can't handle it. The forecast is coming up next.
Welcome back. The time now is 8:12. We're taking a live look at Wentworth. A bit of sunshine starting off your day and currently 1 degree in your area. Temperatures already beginning to rise. It's feeling quite warm outside. And we are going to see double-digit daytime highs, record-breaking daytime highs headed our way. But as of right now, it is 0 in Fredericton, 2 degrees in Charlottetown and in Halifax, 3 degrees starting off your day in Sydney, -12 over in Labrador City, and 2 degrees into St. John's, Newfoundland. A special weather statement currently issued across much of New Brunswick today. This is for Wednesday afternoon until Thursday. We are expecting another low pressure system to head our way, bringing a bit of a messy mixture back around. A wind warning also in effect for the Great Northern Peninsula for Tuesday morning until the afternoon, expecting wind gusts getting up to 100 kilometers per hour. So here's a look at our forecast timeline. Sunshine expected for all 3 maritime provinces today. Temperatures really warming up into the afternoon. For Newfoundland and Labrador, a bit of a mixed bag today. We are going to see a chance of showers and or flurries for Labrador and parts of Newfoundland. That will clear out for Newfoundland, but still remaining for parts of Labrador, taking us into later this afternoon into the evening. We do have a chance of some scattered showers returning for the northern region of New Brunswick, and looking at showers and or flurries still remaining for parts of Labrador, transitioning over to periods of snow into the evening. So if you're wondering about snowfall totals, not going to see any accumulation for the Maritime region. Looking at around 5 to 10 centimeters for Labrador City, 1 to 5 for St. Anthony. And then for our rainfall outlook, remaining quite light for northern New Brunswick, parts of Nova Scotia, and seeing only 2 to 5 millimeters for Happy Valley Goose Bay. So for forecast today for New Brunswick, mainly sunny skies with a chance of some scattered showers into the northern region of the province. Wind gusts getting up to 40 kilometers per hour, and daytime highs will range from 7 to 14 degrees. Prince Edward Island, lots of sunshine in your forecast today as well. Highs will range from 7 to 9 degrees and wind gusts of 40. Same thing for Cape Breton Island, eastern Nova Scotia. Lots of sunshine throughout your day. Temperatures warming to 4 to 12 degrees. And for the rest of Nova Scotia, pretty much the same, mainly sunny skies today with highs between 9 to 14 degrees. For Labrador City, 2 degrees today for your daytime high. Flurries expected throughout your day. Transitions over to snow into the evening. 5 degrees for St. John's, Newfoundland. Periods of drizzle. That will clear out, leaving a mix of sun and cloud into the afternoon. Tuesday's forecast, another really warm day ahead. We are going to see sunshine yet again for all 3 maritime provinces. A bit of sunshine for parts of Newfoundland and Labrador, but we are also going to see flurry activity for parts of Labrador. Then into Wednesday's forecast, starting off quite sunny, increasing cloudiness with another low moving in, bringing snow, freezing rain, and rain back around for the maritime region. That's a look at your weather forecast. We'll throw things over to Amanda.
Thank you, Latavia. The war in the Middle East continues to have a wide-reaching implications. Iran launched more attacks on Israel and Gulf countries this morning, and oil prices have eclipsed $100 U.S. per barrel for the first time in more than 3.5 years. Meanwhile, Iran has announced a new supreme leader. For more on this, we bring in CTV's Scott Hurst. Scott, what is the latest that you can tell us this morning?
Good morning, Amanda. Attacks continue back and forth as this war is now well into its second week. This comes hours after Iranian state TV said Mojtaba Khamenei, the son of the late supreme leader, has now been named the successor, which means the younger Khamenei will now likely have a central role and a key voice in the ongoing war strategy. In the meantime, as the attacks continue, oil prices skyrocket on Monday, leading to more fears that higher energy costs could fuel inflation. Iran's stranglehold on the Strait of Hormuz has all but stopped tankers from using the shipping lane, which 1/5 of the world's oil is carried. G7 nations will hold an emergency meeting today to discuss surging oil prices, which could mean dipping into their emergency oil stockpiles, Amanda, in response to the soaring energy prices.
Wow, and here in Atlantic Canada, we saw prices surge over the weekend at the pumps here as well. Can you walk us through the Canadian government's response and how it's been able to help citizens get out of the Middle East? Where are we there?
Amanda, really the calls for help and the calls for Canadians trying to get out of the region continue to grow with every passing day. There are now roughly 110,000 Canadians who've registered in the Middle East. Just shy of 10,000 requests have been made for assistance, and more than 5,200 people have asked for help leaving the region, as we're seeing more and more Canadians thankfully able to get home and be reunited at Canadian airports. So far, the Canadian government has secured a charter flight, block booked seats for Canadians on commercial airlines, and arranged bus transportation as well. However, Amanda, the federal government has really only been able to help a small fraction of people stranded in the war zone. As I mentioned, some 5,200 have asked for help leaving the region, but the Canadian government has been able to help in terms of the charter flight, block booking, and buses, help the number of Canadians in the hundreds. So there are still many more who are looking for more information and many more who are trying to get home and get out of the Middle East, Amanda.
Oh, and seeing some relief in the video of those families there reuniting. Scott, thank you so much for your time this morning.
Thanks, Amanda.
CTV Scott Hurst reporting live for us from our national newsroom in Toronto. That is a look at international news headlines on this Monday morning. A quick break here on Your Morning Atlantic. We will be right back. Please stay with us.
Move Mornings with Aaron and Peter. Weekday mornings on Move 100. The most fun in the morning. And home of the $1,000 minute. Only on Move 100 Halifax.
So this is the famous Halifax rail cut. If you've been to Halifax, you know all about it, but probably not as much as this guy knows about it. Bob Jock has written a book, Railroaded, the untold story of Halifax's rail cut, and he's agreed to meet us here and tell us more about this fascinating history. So Bob, this cut was a pain in the butt back when it was built, and does it continue to be so today?
Does it ever? The main problem is traffic.
Yeah.
You know, we're all worried about traffic and trying to figure out how to fix it. Well, one way would be to start using these tracks a lot more because they're not used all that much. And it's a great spot for light rail.
For sure. Oh, yeah, the future of this place is that is a whole untold story. This book, The Railroaded, I know that you're originally from Newfoundland and you're fascinated with our region. Why was it the rail cut that you know, you thought there's enough there to write a book about it?
Well, several things. One, what a big project it was. It was a real challenge to do it with the technology that they had. They started in 1913, and it was supposed to go on for about a year and a half, and they finished up somewhere around 1960.
Wow, because you were telling me that they used steam shovels and nothing had a rubber tire. This is very challenging work.
Yeah, all they had really was trains, horses, men, and coal-operated steam shovels. No bulldozers, no backhoes, nothing like that. And the shovels actually even moved on railway track.
Amazing.
So if you wanted to move the shovel, which of course you did, they would have to keep laying track. The shovel had a 6-man crew shoveling coal, and it probably took 2 men just to pull the levers to make the thing work. Very, very interesting pieces of gear.
Fascinating. What really stood out to me about the book was the housing. So at the time, this is South End Halifax. It's a beautiful area. In fact, even the house that's behind you, I learned in your book, had to be moved. They had to expropriate all kinds of fancy houses to make the cut happen.
Yeah, there's about 250 to 300 properties were expropriated. Went on for many years in court for a long time, right up into the 1920s. Some of them were moved, many of them were moved, but they only had horses to move them. They didn't have trucks with that kind of power. Wow. So that was a huge undertaking just dealing with that.
The photos in your book tell a story in themselves, and there's one particular photo that you pointed out to me that shows the beach back in the day. Well, there's no beach there now. Why is that?
Yeah, there's no beach because they had to infill. So where we're standing right now is basically where the beach was.
Wow.
So they had to do the cut, and then they had to fill in to make the railway yards. So trains require a lot of space, and it has to be level. They have huge sheds. You know, in those days, they didn't use containers. Stuff would come in off a ship. It'd have to be put in the shed. 2 weeks later, it goes on the train and goes out. All those sheds are gone now.
Well, this is still a very active rail space, and you can see there's a lot of container traffic and a lot of truck traffic. So you were telling me that originally this cut was designed to make Halifax an active port. Well, mission accomplished.
For sure, yeah. Yeah, in fact, the problem is the location now. It's a real pain for the city, for the citizens of Halifax, because of all the trucks that are constantly moving containers between the two terminals.
Of all the books that we've had in the newsroom, this one sat on my desk, and everyone's coming over. It's like, oh, I'm so curious about this, so curious about this. I think people are interested in trains, and a lot of people see the rail cut and they don't know the history. So if they want to find out more, you're actually doing a talk coming up on March 10th.
Yeah, March 10th at the Maritime Museum of the Atlantic. I'll be doing a shot, lots and lots and lots of pictures from the time.
Oh, I can't wait. Well, Bob, thank you so much for your time today.
My pleasure.
And if you want to find out more about the book, you can buy it at local bookshops. It's also through Nimbus Publishing. But yeah, I mean, it's fascinating. This is just, we barely scratched the surface here.
Taking another look at our 3-day forecast, a high of 11 degrees for New Brunswick today. We're going to see lots of sunshine across the province, but we also have some scattered showers to the northern region. On Tuesday, a high of 13 degrees, a bit of sunshine, but also isolated showers expected, evening flurries, and then on Wednesday, cooling down to 0, freezing rain with evening snow. For Nova Scotia, daytime high of 12 degrees today, mainly sunny skies, evening showers. On Tuesday, 14 degrees with lots of sunshine remaining across the province. On Wednesday, cooling down to 4 degrees, scattered showers and or flurries into the evening, snow and or freezing rain. Prince Edward Island, 8 degrees today with mainly sunny skies. 9 on Tuesday, a mix of sun and cloud with isolated showers. On Wednesday, cooling back down, -1, scattered flurries to evening, snow and or rain.
Still ahead this morning, catching up with James Mullinger. The comedian is getting ready to shoot his new stand-up special in Halifax, and he'll join us to share all the details and how you can take part. That's coming up in 15 minutes on Your Morning Atlantic.
Good morning, Atlantic Canada. Time now 8:30, a Monday, March 9th, and it's going to be quite an impressive day in terms of the weather. I'm so excited.
Yay!
Yes, a warm up is headed our way. It's already feeling quite warm outside, but we are going to see double-digit daytime highs, sunshine. It's going to feel like spring.
What a melt.
Hello. I was thinking, too, I know we still have St. Patrick's Day coming up next week.
Yes.
That will be here, but I'm really thinking ahead to Easter and putting out the spring decorations because Easter is going to be quite early this year. That's going to be in the beginning of April.
Way ahead of you. We got the bunnies already hopping around the home. I'm kind of a thing for little bunnies. I love them.
Me
doesn't
too.
He doesn't.
And also happy return to school for the students in New Brunswick too. Their March break's over.
Oh, yeah.
That went by fast.
Yeah, they had a nice early break. Okay, 8:30. What are we looking at weather-wise at the moment?
It's not too bad. It's still pretty warm outside, and as you can see over in Charlottetown, the sun is already beginning to shine. As of right now, it is 2 degrees over in Charlottetown, but we are going to see temperatures really begin to warm up into the mid to late afternoon for our daytime highs. Starting off 0 in Fredericton, 2 degrees in Halifax, 3 starting off your day in Sydney, -10 degrees in Labrador City, and 2 degrees into St. John's, Newfoundland. We're not seeing the wind chill factor in much for the Maritime region, but it is factoring in for parts of Newfoundland and across Labrador, with the risk of frostbite as well for parts of Labrador today. In terms of the special weather statement, and now issued across much of New Brunswick, this is for Wednesday afternoon until Thursday, as we do expect another low pressure system to head our way. A wind warning also in effect for the Great Northern Peninsula for Tuesday morning until the afternoon. Here's a look at our satellite and radar. Still seeing some active weather for parts of Newfoundland and Labrador. Newfoundland looking at a bit of flurry activity and or showers. That will clear out, leaving sunshine into the afternoon. Labrador seeing a bit of flurry activity. And then for the Maritime region, sunshine for all 3 Maritime provinces with a chance of scattered showers for the northern region of New Brunswick. In terms of the wind, a bit breezy today. Will continue to pick up into the afternoon. As of right now, 35 kilometers per hour in North Cape, 24 in Grand Etang and into Moncton, 22 in Sydney. Wind gusts of up to 44 kilometers per hour in North Cape, 33 into Grand Etang, Sydney, and Moncton. We'll take one last look at your long-range forecast just ahead. First, one last look at your local news with Amanda.
Thanks, Latavia. A chemical spill near Fredericton is under investigation. It happened in the Vanier Highway and Wilsley Road area. Officials say they were notified of the spill Thursday. Throughout the weekend, roads were closed while crews worked to clean it up. Preliminary testing detected traces of sodium carbonate, sodium hydroxide, and chromium. A car wash has been set up for vehicles that may have driven through the spill on Thursday or Friday. That car wash will be open today from 9 a.m. until 6 p.m. Officials say the health risk from the spill remains very low. One man is dead and another seriously injured in two separate snowmobile crashes in PEI. Around 1 a.m. Saturday, a 53-year-old Charlottetown man crashed into a tree on the Confederation Trail in Brackley. He died at the scene. Then at noon, a 37-year-old man was taken to hospital with life-threatening injuries after a snowmobile crash in Hazelbrook. Police believe speed and not wearing a helmet are factors in that crash. Police also reminding people to be cautious while using snowmobiles and to wear helmets. Staying on the island, some residents of an 18-unit apartment building in western PEI had to be treated in hospital for smoke inhalation after a fire broke out in the Summerside building on Saturday night. The Summerside Fire Department was called to Crosby's Waterview Apartments on Water Street after a fire alarm was triggered around 11:30 p.m. All 18 units were evacuated and the fire was extinguished by 1 a.m. The Red Cross was called in to help residents displaced by the fire, and the province's fire marshal is now investigating. Diesel prices around the region shot up again over the weekend. The interrupter clause was used Saturday, spiking the minimum price of diesel for the third time in a week. In all, diesel prices have increased by over 30 cents since last Wednesday due to the war in the Middle East. And if you want a closer look at those gas prices, how it impacted the region, specifically for minimum prices in PEI, Nova Scotia, maximum prices in New Brunswick, we do have an article up on our website with the latest numbers. But 3 times the price has increased in the past week, and we're going to dive deeper into that subject tomorrow. Dan McTeague is going to join us on this show at 7:15, and he'll be able to talk more about what he's anticipating for the increase of gas and diesel prices, because it's going up, and the impacts that will have.
Listen, it's very expensive right now. A lot of people are struggling. This is not going to help. I went down to, we're still in oil, and our laundry's in the basement. We have a really, really old house, and I went downstairs and I saw the little thing was down to E on the oil tank. Oh my gosh, time. So that's going to be expensive.
Yeah.
Lots of people out there in the same boat.
Listen, so maybe enter in our next contest, because that's just a click away.
Yeah, your vacation would be paid for.
Yeah.
There's that. You could indulge in the magic of Hong Kong by entering for a chance to win a trip for 2, courtesy of the Hong Kong Tourism Board. The prize includes round-trip flights on Cathay Pacific, 4 luxurious nights at the Park Lane, Hong Kong, $1,000 spending money, and a 3-day pass granting access to more than 20 amazing attractions. Enter online at ctvatlantic.ca or scan the QR code on your screen. And the $1,000 is yours to spend. You could pack sandwiches while you're in Hong Kong and use that money for expenses like oil.
Exactly.
Babe, take me somewhere expensive.
Yeah,
Let's go to the gas station.
Exactly. There you go.
All right, we're going to talk about the community calendar now, some events taking place in our region. So since 1984, King's Landing has welcomed guests in March to mark the coming of spring and partake in New Brunswick's delicious maple history and tradition. So guests enjoy a 19th century sugaring demonstration, delightful maple candy on the snow, fun horse and wagon rides, and so much more. The event takes place March 7th until March 15th, and you can head over to the website for additional information. And celebrate Prince Edward Island's pride with a winter twist. So this all-new festival features everything from happy hour parties and movie nights to dance workshops and clothing swaps. It's designed to celebrate diversity and inclusion. And we also have another event taking place, the Beatles' Long and Winding Road with Symphony Nova Scotia. So this is going to be a pretty cool event. It's taking place Dalhousie Arts Center, March 13th to the 15th. Head over to symphonynovascotia.ca for additional details. And if you have an upcoming event, please send us the details. We'd love to promote it. Your Morning Atlantic at ctv.ca.
And speaking of events coming up next month, you can participate in this. We are catching up with James Mullinger. The comedian's getting ready to shoot a new stand-up special in Halifax, and he's here to tell us all about it. That and more coming up in the last 20 minutes of Your Morning Atlantic.
Welcome back. The time now is 8:40. We're taking a live look at Hampton. Starting off at 2 degrees this morning, temperatures are going to continue to rise. We are going to see really warm daytime highs headed our way, especially for the Maritime region. As of right now, 0 in Fredericton with 2 degrees starting off your day in Charlottetown and in Halifax. 3 degrees in Sydney, -10 in Labrador City, and 2 degrees into St. John's, Newfoundland. We do have a special weather statement issued across much of New Brunswick for Wednesday afternoon until Thursday. As we see a low pressure system move in midweek, it's going to be bringing a messy mixture back around. In terms of the wind warning in effect for the Great Northern Peninsula, we are expecting Tuesday morning until the afternoon, with wind gusts could get up to 100 kilometers per hour. So here's a look at our forecast timeline. Sunshine for all 3 maritime provinces today. We are going to see a bit of sunshine for parts of Newfoundland as we see the shower activity slowly clear out. Still holding on to a bit of flurry activity, though, for parts of Labrador and into parts of Newfoundland. Into the late afternoon, early evening, we are going to see a chance of some scattered showers return to the northern region of New Brunswick. Also going to see a wintry mix for parts of Labrador before that transitions over to periods of snow. Taking us into early Tuesday morning, we do have another warm day ahead and a bit of sunshine for parts of the region. If you're wondering about snowfall totals, not seeing any accumulation for the Maritimes, looking around 5 to 10 centimeters for Labrador City, 1 to 5 for St. Anthony. And then in terms of our rainfall outlook, quite light for northern New Brunswick, parts of Nova Scotia, and only seeing around 2 to 5 millimeters for Happy Valley, Goose Bay. Over to our forecast today for New Brunswick, lots of sunshine. We do have that chance of showers for the northern region, as I had mentioned. Daytime highs will range from 7 to 14 degrees. Wind out of the southwest, 20 gusting to 40. For Prince Edward Island, highs between 7 to 9 degrees, mainly sunny skies today as well. Same thing goes for Cape Breton, eastern Nova Scotia. Lots of sunshine throughout your day. Daytime highs between 4 to 12 degrees and wind gusts of 40. Pretty much the same for the rest of Nova Scotia with highs between 8 to 14 degrees. Lots of sunshine sticking around as well. Labrador City looking at a high of 2 degrees today. We do have flurries that will transition over to snow into the evening. 5 degrees for St. John's, Newfoundland. Periods of drizzle start off your day, but that clears out, leaving a mix of sun and cloud. Tuesday's forecast, a really warm day ahead. Sunshine sticking around for all 3 maritime provinces. A bit of flurry activity for parts of Labrador. Then into Wednesday's forecast, sunshine starts off the day, increasing cloudiness. Temperatures drop back down, and we do have a wintry mix headed back around, Crystal.
43. The weather gets better. James Mullinger's in town. Coincidence? I don't know. I'll take it. James Mullinger's right in the middle of a 48-date national tour, and one of these shows is going to be filmed in Halifax at the Rebecca Cohn Auditorium in Halifax on April 17th. So Mullinger calls New Brunswick home, but you're in Halifax today, and you're stopping by our studio. Thank you for making time for us.
Oh, my goodness. Thank you for making time for me. This is literally always the highlights of the tour, coming in and seeing the lovely ladies that I watch every morning and hanging out.
Really? Well, that is a joy. I can't wait to tell our audience all the things you've been up to. Let's begin with the show, though.
Yes.
I want to know all about the show.
Well, it's basically it's the show that I've been touring for the last year, combined with the show that I toured the previous year. I didn't capture that one for a special. So it's all of the best material that has basically been brought together by hitting as many small venues as possible. So I travel around the country playing anywhere from, theatres and comedy clubs, but the places that I love to perform are like a Women's Institute venue in Cow Bay, small breweries in Hampton or Sussex, and collating stories. So essentially the show is a celebration of Canada, and really there's never been a more important time to laugh. The world is quite literally burning. People are looking to Canada for answers because people look to us and say, how is it that this country can be so full of joy, so full of peace? And that's really what this show is. It's my love letter to this beautiful country that welcomed me.
Well, there's really everything you do is kind of a love letter, which we appreciate, and you wear so many hats. But speaking of the comedy hat, you have done comedy basically all over the world, but really your deepest knowledge would be UK versus Canada and the East Coast.
Yeah.
Like, how is comedy different? Do people laugh differently? Do they find different things funny?
It's a good question. I mean, obviously, being all part of the Commonwealth, there are some crossovers, and there's lots of shows, of course, that are British shows that Canadians grew up watching as well. But I would say the biggest difference is that British audiences, not that they're difficult, but a British audience is sat there kind of going, make me laugh. Whereas, as odd as it sounds, a Canadian audience comes out to laugh.
Yeah.
And I'd say the weirdest thing is I've had Canadians come up to me after shows and say, "Oh, sorry for laughing so loudly during..." No, that's literally what we want. So there is definitely that difference. But I think also part of it is some audiences in other parts of the world are looking for things to get annoyed about. Because Canadians have grown up around camp culture, sitting around the bonfire, roasting each other. People know how to take a joke here. In England, you make a joke about a town, that town will try and stop you from going back. In Canada, I'll make a joke about a town or a place on TV, and then that town, the mayor will get in touch and invite me to perform there.
Exactly.
That's Canada.
Well, gosh, this interview is flying right by, but I know you've got the big special being filmed in Halifax.
Yeah.
Live audiences can be part of that.
Yes.
So the louder the laughing, the better. Why did you choose Halifax? It's, you know, high risk, kinda.
True, and I'm not pandering, but I mean, Halifax does have the best comedy audiences. Of course, I mean, it's the biggest city in Atlantic Canada, my favourite place in the world. I would say, honestly, that I've been building up to this in the respect that, you know, I first performed on the Rebecca Cohen Auditorium stage, recording an episode of The Debaters in 2017. And I thought, one day I want to play this venue. Over the years, I've done everything. I've done the Carlton, Yuck Yucks, Halifax Live, Spats Theatre, you name it. I've done all the Halifax Convention Centre, all these things, essentially building up to this moment that I could perform the best of my material to 1,000 people with the cameras running. And the film production company is a company called Salt Cinematic, who are proudly Halifax born and bred. And it really feels like the whole show is it's a celebration of Canada, but crucially, Halifax is the place that I cut my teeth when I moved to Canada and tried to continue my comedy career. And I owe everything to Halifax, and I love the audiences here.
Well, we really do love you as well. And people know you're a great comedian, and they may not realize that you and your wife are great business people, too. And this little collaboration called Edit, which is just a beautiful magazine, is the latest issues coming out. Tell people where they can get this.
Thank you so much. Yeah, it's our annual Celebrating Women issue. It's a quarterly magazine celebrating life on the East Coast. They can buy it in Shoppers, Walmart, Chapters Indigo, and numerous independent stores across the country, or from our website, maritimeedit.com. And really, we just try and do the same thing that you do, which is highlighting and celebrating Atlantic Canadians doing great things, and we just do it in paper form.
Well, if you ever want to showcase the people behind us here at Your Morning Atlantic, we'd be thrilled.
I would love to. Okay, well, that's signed, sealed, delivered. This has been agreed on live TV. That's
beautiful.
Happening.
It just feels so nice in the hand to get your copy. Okay, you're also a father.
Yes.
And that's why you're here. Tell the audience why you're in Halifax.
Yes, indeed. So I had a couple of days rehearsing for the show and meeting with the production crews, but very shortly I am hot-footing it to the airport to collect my two children, Hunter and River, who are 15 and 12. March break, a lot of families go away. Not us, no. My wife and I put the kids on a plane to England. My parents look after them. Our plan was to kind of turn our house into a frat house and kind of, you know, have a great time. I'm turning 48 on Wednesday, so it was, we thought we'd have a bit of fun. But instead, of course, we spent the entire week working, doing shows, and stuffing over 10,000 copies of the magazine into envelopes.
Oh, yeah, that is life.
That's keeping it real, right? We've got to do the graft.
That's why we love you, and that all comes into the comedy, which is so great. Okay, well, James, we're out of time. Thank you so much for making time for us.
Thank you, Crystal. I love you guys and love everyone here. And Amanda, Latavia, just keep doing what you do, because I just love coming to see you all.
Wonderful stuff. Okay, so yeah, April 17th is a big show. Get your tickets now. They will be snapped up very quickly. It's your chance to be part of this special. It is 8:49. We'll take a little break and be right back after this.
The #1 morning show in Halifax. Turk, Megan, and Amateur Alex. And home to the biggest artists. Halifax's #1 hit music station. 101.3 Virgin Radio.
Welcome back. We're about to wrap up the show, and this is the fun part where we get to share your text messages. And we were talking about old tech that you're still hanging on to. There's a theme here, multimedia theme.
Okay.
Let's start with James from Kanzo. Says, I still have a ton of CDs, still use them, love the sound, and love the cover art. Do you remember when you would get a fresh CD and you had to work hard to open the plastic?
Oh, yeah.
Pull out the front cover, have the lyrics. extra pictures.
Oh yeah. It's kind of hard to get it back in when you're done, but yeah.
Yeah, it was the worst.
Yeah. Okay, good. I wasn't the only one who struggled with that. Going back even further, Wendy from Moncton, I have vinyl, cassette, and CDs. Yes, I'm an old gal. Pet peeve, I haven't been able to buy a vehicle that will play any of them.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Which is so true. I remember even, what was it, like 8 years ago we got our SUV and you couldn't, it didn't come with a CD player. I was like, where's the CD player? No.
Wendy, you can come along with me. I still have a CD player in my car.
That's awesome.
Kim from Dartmouth says, I still have my LPs and 45s from when I was a kid. My very first 2 45s was Princess Little Red Corvette. Oh, Prince's, excuse me, Little Red Corvette and Electric Avenue by Eddie Grant.
Oh my gosh.
I still have them to this day. The question last week, I still have all my cassettes and CDs as well.
Yay!
Also, too, she has a photo of the collection. This is a bit of her collection.
Oh, she's got one of those fun, like, cassette-holding cases. I love that.
It's classic. Cynthia says, I have too many to show, including an old Polaroid camera, VCRs, ghetto blasters still used during Nova Scotia power outages. And we have the photo. This pink Sony Walkman.
Yeah.
And she says it's a tape player. Her father brought it back for her from Japan in 1983, and it still works.
That's gorgeous.
She sent us a video of it working. I couldn't get that video turned around, so I thought, you know what? I'll get a photo of it.
That's really beautiful. I'd love to have that.
That is cool. LJ from Middleton. I still wake up to my state-of-the-art clock radio alarm. It also has a landline phone attached. Quite the combo in its day.
A clock radio with a landline phone. Okay, please send a picture of that. That I need to see.
Yeah, that's one of those things like when you thought someone was rich back in the day, that would be that.
Yes.
And Nancy from Paradise, she's so funny. Old piece of technology that I haven't got rid of yet is me. But then my TV remote control has kicked the bucket, so I'm the mobile channel clicker now, and I'm old.
Oh my gosh, Nancy. Back in the day, the TVs did not have a remote. You'd have to get up and change the channel.
Oh,
Click.
yeah, the dial, yeah.
The dial. Oh my gosh, yes.
And the TV would get warm.
Yeah.
You could put things on top of the TV because it had a back to it.
Right?
Oh yeah. I babysat for this one house, and it was always so cold and drafty in their house, and they'd be always late. I'd be like under an Afghan on the couch. I'm like, do I change the channel or not? Am I just gonna watch this infomercial? It was not an easy choice.
No, it was not.
No. Do you two hold on to any old piece of tech?
I have everything.
Everything.
Everything. I have my cousin's old pager, all my cell phones. Yeah. I have currently a CRTV in our bedroom. We have VHS, DVDs, CDs, cassette. We have it all.
Wow.
Even my toys. My mom kept, so.
That's amazing. Yeah, same out of all these. We still we have a VCR. It's fun. The old movies, just stick them in. It's a good time.
Yeah.
Be kind and rewind.
Oh my gosh! And with those movies, you're going to be using the air popper. I have a retro air popper as well. Love the air popper. It's always entertainment for the kids. Okay, there was request for the last laugh for the control room. Okay, this is a fashion idea. Honestly, if you got some stretchy pajamas, do this.
Reasons that you gotta.
So yeah, you can just turn it into an evening gown. Now, originally there was a real video of the person, so this is a man making fun of it, but I think he's actually pulling it off pretty well, to tell you the truth.
He's rocking that dress.
And they just accessorize it if you're waiting to go for the evening.
The gym bag.
But the thing, oh dear. The thing is, if you actually have a pair of stretchy pajamas that are black or something kind of fun, like you could actually wear that out.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's so funny.
There you go, cheap fashion ideas, courtesy of Your Morning Atlantic.
Oh my gosh! If you pull that off, show us, please.
do.
It was the button on the men's pajama.
Yeah, for the little peekaboo.
Someone's going out tonight.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, this is our show on this Monday, but we hope you'll join us. Dan Mateague, an expert when it comes to fuel prices, is going to be talking about the rising cost of gas and diesel due to the war in the Middle East.
Yeah, we've also been talking about a Dartmouth hockey tournament, and we are going to be challenging ourselves to try to get us some goals on some 13 and 14-year-old goalies.
Wish us luck.
All right, have a great day, everybody.